Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I've got a little sword.
You got a little sword. Good evening and welcome to this special edition of Blood on the Thames playing Nibiru. Now, introducing my players.
Hello, I'm Peter and I am playing somebody and I have no idea who they are.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm also playing somebody and I have no idea who they are.
I'm Philip, and I will say ditto to ditto.
Wait, I did say my name right.
You did, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure. You know who you are. I think it's just a character.
So, apologies for the late start. As you can see, well, hopefully you can see, we're shooting at a new venue. So we had to take care of some of the technical thingies. And before we dive into the wonderful world of Nibiru, we have some exciting news that some of you have already noticed.
So we now have Twitch affiliate status. Yay! And that means that if you wish to, you can now support the stream, either by subscribing or by cheering for us. We already have our first subscribers, I am told, and we will be making a fuss of you later on in the stream. But for those of you who are wondering, well, why might I want to subscribe? If you do, you can get access to the exclusive Plucky Jake facepalm emote. And if that isn't enough to tempt you, I really don't know what it is.
So we're playing a game that we encountered when we went to Dragonmeet. It's called Nibiru, and it's a game set in this sort of sci-fi space station, massive place. So the whole concept of the game was really appealing to us because character creations, players start with vagabonds. That's the name they received. Your character is someone who has lost their memories, and I'll go into the details of that while I'm explaining the setting a little bit further. And as you play, you get to unlock some of your memories from your past. So effectively, you are creating the character as you're playing. So there are some basic things that you need to know about Nibiru. First, the setting. So Nibiru is an immense space station. It's 1,271, I think. No, 1,791 kilometers wide. It's immense, and there are several sections to it. You have the core and the blazing halls, and the further away you move from the core, the further away you move from energy and power. And this is a place that out on the outer rim onwards you still have places, and some of those places are called habitats. Those are self-contained pockets in which civilization thrives, as well as other places in Nibiru that are the core. Now, the players hail from one of these pockets, and giving you a little description of the place you're coming will help you probably mold some of the memories your characters have when you want to implement the mechanics. So there are 5 character sheets in front of you. These are literally names and roughly some descriptions of the cast for tonight's horror show. Unlike Spectaculars, this is a more a darker theme. So the cast is composed. Are we good? Okay. The cast is composed of, and you can pick up the sheets. There is Claire, who is a woman about 21 years old, And she used to live near the Ashen Woods, just outside the town of Bragtown. So that's Claire. That's pretty much all the information there is to know about Claire. You have Tom, a man about 19 years old, son to a cheese artisan, and he loves cheese. You have Tamara, a woman about 28 years old, bright but easily irritable. She loved cycling to the edge of the darkness. I will tell you more about Proudtown and the darkness. You have Michael, a man about 18 years old, a very talented musician, very strong-willed. And there is Sylvia, a woman about 32 years old, an observant singer with a strong following, at least in the town of Brighttown. So just on those sort of descriptions and the flavor, choose one. You can change the name of the character and the gender if you wish to do so, but there should be that basic information from you. Someone that is, they are all pretty much youngish, with the exception of Sylvia, which is less youngish. And all of them they have these distinct traits. One of them was the son of a cheese artisan, so he likes cheese. Another one liked cycling. Another one likes music. So those are basic stuff, and basic stuff that they are part of who you are, regardless of your memories. Now, the city of Brighttown, or the habitat, should we use the term, the proper terminology. So Brighttown it's a world within a world. It's a pocket. It's a dome of beautiful rolling hills, green grass. Its twin suns, or basically two beacons that provide light to the crops, are always there. So something worth noting is that there is no night in Brighttown. There is always light. So braving the darkness is something every Brightowner fears. On the edge of this dome is the darkness. People tend not to approach it. Kids may be daring themselves just to move towards these areas and dig a little deeper. Sometimes people find things that remind them of something they lived, and they bring it back to town. The town itself is beautiful. It's about 1,000 or so people, lovely colored huts and houses all around. It's a very nice community. It's an idyllic habitat. But some people are curious about what's out there. And something that is common to all habitats in Nibiru is that when someone leaves their habitat, their memories are erased, taken from them, and they become vagabonds. They're not common by any means. They're very rare, and they end up wandering and stumbling through the maze that is this massive space station. And arriving to new places is very, very apparent when someone does not belong. It's very easy to know because they lack this social dynamic that you would have from being a member of town. So all of you come from this beautiful town of Brighttown. You can later, when you leave the room, you can talk about some things that you'd like about the town in general. These are things your characters are not going to remember, just basic traits of the town, but something that you might use, if need be, when you're creating memories. And we'll go to the system in a little bit so you can understand that part. Right now is basically, where are you from, what's the setting. The system of Nibiru is quite interesting. It uses the four-sided dice. Every time you roll 3 dice for all your checks. So you want to throw something, roll 3 dice. You want to hit somebody, guess what? You roll 3 dice. If you get a bonus or a penalty, it'll be in the form of additional dice or less dice in your roll. The minimum number of dice you're ever gonna roll is 1, and the maximum is 6, because there's a limit. Unless there's something nasty out there in the void that can roll 7 or more. but that is not your end. That's mine. And if you can show your character sheet, any of the character sheets, there is a central track. I really enjoy this. I really like it because Nibiru takes it to another level. Now, if you can see it on top, you will have two people. Now you can see it. Just turn around because I'm explaining this to you.
I can see both.
So these little guys or girls or people on top, they represent how healthy you are physically and mentally. So one track goes down as your health is as you're hurt and you're losing health, and the other track goes all the way from mentally sane to insane, and from healthy to dead. So it's a double health track, because it deals both with your mind and your body. And of course, when you are hurt, you start rolling down the health track, and when you are traumatized or stressed or all these awful experiences, you go down the mind or the mental health track. So it's a body and mind sort of cycle. Now, you have in your character sheet 6 places to write memories. But let's talk about something before you know what to write there. You all start with something called influence points. So influence points are used for 2 things. One, you can spend an influence point and have someone re-roll any number of dice from their roll. Anyone except me. So any of your rolls, you can influence another person's roll. And you can describe a little bit of the interaction of how you help them achieve what they're trying to achieve, even if it's words of encouragement. Remember, this is also like a mental game, so if you are encouraging someone, you are increasing their chances of success. But the other one is the mechanic of the deja vu, in which you sort of insert Deus Ex Machina kind of moment into the chronicle. You're fighting someone in near a ravine, and they kick you out, and you fall to your death, and you can use this influence point to create a deja vu in which you have noticed some wires that you can use to hold on to. I mean, you're not changing the action, you're changing the setting so it assists you in some way. Or if you are in a meeting and they are going to betray you, well, guess what? You had a hidden knife, or there was something hidden behind your chair. Like there was a little bit of preparation, or you remembered, or you saw something, and now you're catching glimpses of that in return. So basically, those are the 2 things you can do with influence points. You can gain influence points by doing amazing things, and if the chat wants to give you influence points, you can do so. Sometimes. Maybe. Now, the other one that you will see is the memory points, the memo system. So basically, your character has a number of memory points. When you're encountered with an action for a role, and it's important to mention only the narrator calls for roles. If you describe that you're doing something, and I just say, yes, go ahead and do it, and no need for a roll, we're assuming that your character has some capabilities innate to them. So I'm not going to ask you to roll to get on a horse or something like that. But if you're encountered with a situation, physical or mental, and you are asked to roll, you can choose to either succeed or fail in that roll and describe how that triggers a memory from something you remember from your days in Bragtown. Now, you spend a number of memory points to succeed on that roll, and the number of memory points you spend is how well you succeed and how well you remember that. Oh, it turns out I was an amazing sniper or something. Yeah, I mean, it turns out to be something quite useful. So you can spend 2, 3, or 5, depending if you want like a +1, +2, or +3 bonus, like a rank 1, 2, or rank 3 memory. And or you can choose to fail at that roll, remembering that you are actually rubbish with a sniper rifle or any other handgun or firearm in that regard. And you can choose to have that memory as a rank 1 or 2 hindrance, so you will have that as a penalty, but you actually are not spending memory points for that, you're getting memory points for that.
Is it on the same scale?
Yeah, you're using the memory points is a pool. So whenever you say, hey, I'm spending this many memory points, you subtract them from your pool, and if you go, you know what, I'm gonna fail at that action, you gain them back, okay? So how to create a memory, I think I explained it. There is a rule that is interesting, is the all fours or all ones. If you roll, however many dice you roll, if you roll all fours in your check, you immediately get to write that down as a rank 1 memory that you don't need to spend memory points to trigger. It's yours.
That's so badass.
You made something so amazing, so badass that, hey, I'm good at this. And then you get to have it for yourself. Now, if you roll all ones, you also get to add it for free without gaining any memory points, but you get an influence point for that. Because you're remembering that particular action triggers something, a memory in you of something you're bad at, but also comes with this emotional charge to it. So you get an influence point for your troubles, okay? An example of how the memory system works is the one that we were given when we met the lovely people of Nibiru in Dragonmeet. Imagine you are being chased by a group of people and you find a pipe. And you grab it, and then that triggers a memory when you're about to take your swing. You were actually kind of good playing baseball or softball. You were not super great, maybe a rank 1 memory, but you were good enough to use it. And then from that moment onwards, every time you would grab a pipe, a club, a bat, you would have that bonus to those rolls. So that's the way skills sort of are handled, but that's why we have a flat 3 dice per roll skill wise, if we know what we're talking about. So the thing is, you all 3 hail from Brighttown, but you're not there anymore, and your memories were wiped, and it doesn't matter why. You're vagabonds now. You could have left at different points of time. You could have left together. You don't know. You don't remember. The thing is that you are now wandering through the dark passages of Nibiru. Darkness that frightens you. Looking for civilization. So, I'm going to ask you to leave for a second, talk about Brighttown, a couple of things that you want to remember, I don't know, the bell tower or whatever, things that you want to create collectively for Brighttown, a couple of distinctive features, and
can I just ask about?
Yeah.
It's in this giant space thing.
Oh yeah.
So in terms of so when we're talking about Brighttown, are we allowed to have, I don't know, a technological tower or a, you know what I mean? Or so it can be techie as well as...
Yeah, it could have some technical elements. It's mostly an idyllic farming paradise.
Okay.
But it is in a dome and there's technology, so you could have like a tower that it will not look techie. It will not be your sprawling steel and glass. It can be super techie, but it looks like the rest of the town. Harmonious, colorful, bright, in harmony with everything.
Perfect.
Also, do we know that we're in space on a big space station, or is this a bit of the island kind of scenario?
Well, actually, you would not know where you are or where you're from. So,
Oh, that's true. So we now
So this
don't know
is just-
anything about Nibiru.
No.
So we're just setting up some background for Brighttown, but our characters know none of it.
No, your characters know how to walk, how to talk, how to read and write, how to take care of themselves and stuff like that, but not anything deeper. Yeah.
Okay, we go. I need to switch out.
And now I have a couple of questions when they leave and close the door for the chat, because they are going to be going into a new place. They're going to be they're being sent out, and I'm gonna take this moment to show some of the artwork that we were given with this quick start guide. It is absolutely beautiful. This is, and let me know if it's on the shot, a picture or an image of how Brighttown is supposed to be. Is it okay? I have. Oh yes, I think the focus is off. Now, Brighttown for them is like it's home, and they will try to make it home for their memories, but they will not be there. They will be here. It's a completely different town. Now, there's something that they should know had they not lost all of their memories, but they don't know, especially because Brighttown doesn't have it. There are things called cycles, and cycles. Nibiru has the core creating energy for all the other sectors, but the furthest, the ones that are farthest removed, they are always having issues with the energy that is being sent to them. So in a lot of places they have cycles in which they receive energy for a period of time, and then they just go in a blackout for another period of time, and those cycles is how they measure their time. This is they're going to find themselves in the city of Oxidia, which is one of those sort of cities, and it is dark and gloomy when you get there, and what you see is this pillar of light from the center of a hill. So I want the chat to start thinking about what is the type of people that would live in a city like Oxidia. You are removed from the core. You actually have no idea that there are other habitats out there. You know that you get energy from the core, and that's pretty much it. And you live in this sort of constantly dark and glooming, I don't know. It's this anxiety sometimes, but also it gives hope when energy comes back. Like how would the people be? Would they be rough and tough and wary of any strangers that come by? Would they be welcoming? Because strangers mean interaction with other people that could bring stuff. Like the way they work is up to you, because that's gonna decide how NPCs are gonna interact with our players. Now, while you think about that, there is another question, and it is on the nature of a beast. So this adventure deals with a particular beast, one that could only be found in the pipes of Nibiru, but it's a beast that has a sliver of connection with a human, and it can be through either a music box and some music that this human used to play for the beast. It can take the form of a scent or a particular smell. It can be a specific type of flowers or a perfume or food, whatever you want to make it. Or it could be a visual, bright colors or fluorescent something. Is a beast that has a very slight connection, a very strong connection with something that is very basic. Now, have we had any answer on the kind of people on Oxidia? Are they?
We've had a few. I'll give this one, I think, to. There's two going at the moment.
Okay, we have more than one. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, 2 seconds.
Are they conflicting? Because I could go with both.
So we've had strong religious people with a strong sense of community.
Oh, nice! I like that one.
Otherwise, I imagine they're cautious and curious towards strangers.
Actually, they work quite well. So we have a very
So yeah,
strongly knit
yeah, so it's
community.
a strong community.
That are religious.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're wary of
Yeah,
outsiders.
I think that's what we're going for, yeah. Just so I know something else.
Okay. And while you still think about this, remember you can always propose other things other than the three sort of cues that I gave you for the beast, the nature of the beast. While you are discussing that in chat, one final thing. This is a game of mystery and horror. How likely is it for characters to die? Is this more of a psychological thriller, or is it a gore movie? Just give me a rating from 1 to 3. 1 being mostly psychological thriller, 3 being absolute horror gore, and 2 being a very unhealthy mix of both. What do we have for the...
Could you go through the options for the beast again?
Okay, it would be either a song, in a music box that plays a song, a particular song, a scent, it could be either flowers or a perfume, or colors, and bright colors and light, particular set of colors and all of that.
Okay. Sure if those used to come up, but I think there's a few for music box. Yeah, there's quite a few for music box.
A music box. Okay, I'll go for the music box. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And how about in the rating of the type of game? Is it going to be gory? Is it going to be thrillery? Is it going to be thrillery gorily?
I think there's mostly for a happy middle of 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
2. Okay. Last but not least, I will give you guys in the chat the chance to choose up to 3 influence decisions, like a deja vu. Now, you're gonna be watching the first half, and then we're gonna go into our interval in the middle. So, from what you see on the first half, you could create one deja vu. In consensus, you can just write it about in chat, and then in consensus, one deja vu for each character, for them to use on the second part. Now, this could be completely useless, but meaningful to the character, all the way to completely irrelevant to the character, but useful to the story. So you take your pick, and you will see how the characters evolve. And creating a simple deja vu is something that does not need to be scene specific. You can say, we want them to have this resource or access to this stuff. Of course, things that are completely breaking, like, oh yeah, we want to give them like the sword of destruction, are not going to happen. But it's a nice way of adding a little bit of a touch and seeing how influential can your decisions be in their likelihood of living or dying. So just keep that in mind. And can we call the guys in, please? And I really hope you enjoy it. I had the most fantastic time reading this, and we will touch back in the interval. Okay? Are they coming?
Yeah.
Ah, there they are.
Or should we?
Mm.
I don't know.
I think we had a slight glitch.
No, sorry.
Oh, there it is. It's okay.
Table going.
It's going.
I'm so happy we're doing this with Nibiru.
Okay.
Hello.
So we had some questions
Yeah, sure. Shoot.
whilst we were.
Danger zone.
So one of the questions was, in the area of the darkness that we went through,
Mm-hmm.
did we ever see our reflections, or do our characters not actually know what we look like?
No, you do know what you look
Nice.
like.
Right.
You
Okay.
are not that oblivious of
Sure.
yourselves.
Do we know the section in the notes portion of our character sheet?
Yeah, that is something that you will have with you. That is something that, in order for you to recover part of your identity, you need to have your characters have something that allows them to connect to who they are. It's something that is meaningful to them. It's something that you can always carry with you, and thus is like light. I think one of the options
But
was.
there's also a character trait such as being inquisitive or being known as a singer or being raised on the outskirts of town. Do we remember those things?
No, you do not remember them, but you add those to what Brighttown is like
Yeah.
to form the narrative of your
Okay.
memories. It's like,
Cool.
okay, I have a character who's inquisitive and comes from the town of Brighttown, the habitat of Brighttown. How do I remember this? What was it that I liked that I remember? The thing that you have is something that connects you to some of your memories, or actually
Okay,
effectively
cool.
all of your memories. I think they have a rating in parentheses,
Yep.
Yeah.
and it is the amount of memories that you can have while having that. The moment you reach that number, you need something else from your past to hold on to new memories.
Okay.
So that is like the battery
Okay.
you have.
with you.
And how many memory points and influence points do we start off with?
I'll be giving you those numbers after you tell me a little bit more about Brighttown.
Okay.
Okay. So,
What had you chosen about Brighttown? What did you like?
So Brighttown is notable because it contains a lot of low windmills. Like the landscape is dotted with these
Okay.
windmills. Of course, the wind is in the dome is artificial, but none of us really know that. We just kind of like, yeah, these windmills are useful for grinding because the only crop that we can grow is barley.
Okay.
It's a bit of an Interstellar style situation where there's just like one main crop that we grow.
Yeah, well, there are several other crops, but probably the largest
Yes.
by
Yeah.
far are these.
Do you want to tell them about your horse cheese?
Yeah.
Oh, you're the. I was gonna say the cheesy guy. Are you the son of the cheese artisan?
Yeah, so the most common animal we have there are horses that go around, which is what we make the cheese. We use them to make the cheese as well.
Okay. So horse cheese and all of those things. Fun stuff.
And the dome of Brighttown is always a sort of slightly pinky hue,
Okay.
generated by what looks to us like two suns, but are probably just two very strong lights, giving us sort of permanent semi-pink tint to everything.
Okay, so you're literally seeing life through rose-tinted
Yes, exactly,
eyeglasses.
Exactly.
Okay. You start with 2 memory points and 2 influence points.
Ooh.
Okay.
2 memory points will be enough at the beginning to give you a rank 1 memory. But then the trade-off starts. That you want more memory points, you have to have memories about things you don't know how to do or how to do well.
Yeah.
Okay?
Gotcha.
So ready with that, and I think it's time to move in. So you are right now braving the darkness of the passages and tunnels. It is confusing. It is scary, to say the least. You are navigating mostly in a combination of luck and faintly heard noises here and there, trying to approach certain areas. You go through what could be a marsh or a swamp of sorts, or maybe is it just a half flooded room. But at some point, you see in the distance something like a shaft of light, and you have to climb your way through ducts and vents until you finally reach to the edge of an area that far in the distance looks like a hill, from where you can see shooting up a beam of light. And it has this soft glow with this sort of fog on the sides of what would be like a little town or city. You're not sure how big it is, but it's man-made. And it looks inhabited. So what do?
Are we all traveling together at this point?
You're mostly together because you needed to survive this far. There are things that you can eat, like mold and fungi, or things that you can hunt. But right now it's more of a theme of survival. None of you knows who you are or who the others are, except for your names. So that's what you know about each other. What do?
I think I will start striking out in that direction, fairly confident that, I mean, this is the most light we've seen in a long time. I'm quite sick of endless dark swampy corridors and eating mold and grime, so I'm pretty keen to try and find some other civilization in this place.
That's beautiful. Apollo.
So I'll catch up with these two. So you recognise that? Seen this place before?
No.
I haven't seen any of this place before.
No.
You make your way through the rubble, and now you notice as you start like climbing down from where you were and going into this path, it is a lot of debris and rubble, and it's very derelict. It's very ill kept. It's not in any way something that you could easily traverse. So I'm gonna require a roll from you to tread carefully over this area. So that's 3 dice, and every dice that has the scores of 4 is a success.
Oh, wow.
So this is to traverse this difficult terrain.
Yeah, just to tread carefully through the rubble and all
I
that.
think that's what we will share.
Okay.
Uh,
I have no 4s.
That is no successes, okay?
1 4.
1 4, 2 1s.
well, I'm going to remember as we start to make this traversal that growing up, you know, obviously in a place called the Ashen Woods, often the terrain was difficult.
Yes.
But that my father taught me how to keep my footing sure, how to check as I was walking, and to pick quick paths through difficult things.
Okay, so as you put your foot on one slab stone and you feel it, pivot, you immediately move sideways and sort of half crouch, and you remember doing that with your dad when you were younger with a log while trying to go through a brook, a little river or something, like a stream. And then you stood up straight, smiled to your dad, and then sort of half skipped, half hope onto the other side. So you can add that as a memory from your father, and the effect is that you have good balance. You can tread carefully and have good balance. That's going to be a rank 1 memory for your 2 memory points.
Yeah, I've
and you are memory pointless.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Yes.
I guess. On the other hand, your character names are? Do you remember them?
So I'm Chris.
Oh, you're Chris. Nice. And what is it? What is it that you have that helps you remember?
So I have an old pocket watch made of gold.
Did it belong to your father?
It was a memento, yeah, given by my
nice,
father.
nice. And you are?
I am Sylvia,
Nice.
and I have a trusty lighter that gives us a little bit of light when we've been in the tunnels.
One more reason to stick together.
Yeah.
And I'm Tom, and I have a small knife.
Okay. So it's for timekeeping, light, and cutting stuff. You're all together one way or the other. So Sylvia starts going slowly at the beginning, then with a little bit more confidence, and then she feels the ground give way a little. So she moves back, and actually she stands on a small beam that is too weak to support her weight, and she just falls. Not a huge distance. You're not dead yet, but
Yeah.
but it will reduce your health track by 1.
Ooh.
So describe. Do you want to describe how you react, or is it just the typical scream?
Oh no, she sits up. Well, fuck.
So you guys are.
I'm going to go back to where Sylvia is,
Mhm.
and because she's fallen down a little way.
Yeah, she has fallen. She's on her side, probably bruising one of her legs, probably spraining an ankle.
And I will hold her hand down. I'll say, come on.
Much obliged, and she will take her hand and start to kind of pull her weight up.
Yeah.
She's quite like a tall, quite a heavy set woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty kind of strong and beefy looking, but I think between you, she kind of does her best to try and pull herself up with you.
Okay. And then I'll, as we start to go off, I'll have like a little flashback to my father showing me this, and I'll say, so watch where I step, yeah? And I'll like take a step and like guide her across the...
Okay. So you're assisting her.
I am assisting her.
Okay. Now to reach the end, where you have to tread carefully and then climb, can I have another roll from you guys? And you would have a penalty of 1 for your injury, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a bonus of 1 for Michael. Was it?
It's Chris.
Oh, you're Chris and you're Michael.
That's
Tom.
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 It's hard to remember
There's-
when you've lost your memory, isn't it?
Yeah. Who's Tom? Who's Michael?
What's my name? I don't know what's my name.
Okay, so we're all going again.
Yes.
I decided your dice tray is unless.
So I have to roll this time, assumedly, because last time I had
But
to
with
make
a
the
plus
memory.
1,
Yeah.
which means that you will roll 4 dice.
Yeah.
I have no fours again.
It's okay.
I have no force.
It's okay. This part is easier.
Well, I have 2 fours because, of course, my father showed me how to cross these difficult things.
It's okay. This second part is much easier, and as long as one succeeded, so one made it, you could help each other out.
Yeah,
So this
I will help these 2. Yeah.
but your ankle is acting up a little bit. So if anyone wants to improvise some bandages, you can try it, or are you just gonna brave on?
I think for now we're braving it on. She doesn't stop.
Okay.
To
Okay.
get to the light.
So you arrive to the gates of this place, and finally you do realize it's sort of a city. Yes, it is a city, and there is a guard at the gate. She looks at you. Who are you?
I'm Tom.
And hi, Tom. What's your business in our city?
Come on, cheese man.
I'm just freezing now. I'm gonna ooh. I'd like to kind of remember that in the cheese factory, the moment is being sort of talked down to by it might be by his father and that.
Mm-hmm.
He's always kind of stepped back from it. He's very shrunk away from that.
Okay. So when you are sort of like socializing with people, empathizing with them, you're not that great because of the way your father treated you and the other people that were running the cheese factory, actually, the cheese artisan, so the family business. You want to make it a rank 1 or a rank 2 memory. And you have to remember you're limited by the number of memories that you can have, by the items you have, and you're not in Bright Town. So it's a great memory to have because you can get 1 or 2 memory points depending on.
I'll take the 2.
Okay, cool. So Tom is clearly put off by the question in line. Very simple question that this guard is presenting, and that is drawing her a little bit more suspicious. You see it in the way she shifts. She gets a little bit more suspicious of him. I asked a question. Who are you and what are you doing here in our town, in our city?
Well, now, there's no reason to be like that. We just come out of this big hole in the ground. We saw your pretty lights. We just wanted to come over. It's awful dark down there.
Yeah, we don't want any trouble. Just
someplace safe.
Just someplace out of the dark, you know? That's all.
She looks around. Well, the cycle's coming, so step in.
Thank you.
Sure, thanks.
So you go through. She doesn't give you a second look. Ignores you, and you go through, and you start seeing that the town, actually, the streets are a little empty, and the people who you see, the ones you do see, are in a hurry, scurrying around, moving from one side to another, putting things in crates, moving boxes around, holding stuff, clearing out. The hill goes upwards, and at the end you see what could be a round of pillars and something in the center. Is that flower? I see something. Something is the center of this light coming upwards. Something is the center of that energy that you see, that beam of light. But it's far away, and people are moving like little ants, picking up whatever they have. Some of them notice your presence and give you like a hard glance.
Tip my hat.
And most of them do a weird sign to them and move on. Especially when they look at one another and move on.
So they seem to be going in like a uniform direction, or are they just scattering all over?
They look like they're scattering away, actually.
When you say they're kind of picking stuff up, what kind of things are they grabbing?
Mostly some of them might have looked like stalls that they are packing. It's like they had a stall in a market and now they're packing everything, but in a rush. Imagine like an illegal market and someone is calling the police and people are just packing everything, giving side glances to everybody, and moving away. They're not super rushing. They seem in a hurry, but they're not going, all out to just pushing people aside. No, they're keeping it civilized. Just there's this apprehension in there. I see something was pushing them to finish as quickly as possible and then leave.
Okay, I'm going to go approach one of these people.
Okay.
Fairly, confidently, I suppose, and say, something going on. We're new here.
Greetings.
Hello.
Do you want something?
Yeah, I want to know. Is something about to happen?
The cycle is coming.
What does that mean?
That there will be darkness. So make the flowers shine on you. And they just move away. They keep on doing their stuff. They're a little wary of you.
I'm going to go back to these two. Say, I think the light's going to go out soon.
Shit.
And is there something around here when it gets dark? I mean, I thought we were inside the city now. We not safe here?
I'll point at all these people. I don't think so.
What's like the kind of the ground and the environment around us? Is it quite idyllic? We don't know this obviously, but is it like, or is there kind of a lot of junk and stuff?
No,
lying
this is
around?
more, imagine a middle-aged cobblestones on the roads.
Okay.
You will not see a vehicle other than maybe someone on a bicycle or some people herding some sheep. Motorized vehicles are not something that you would see. There are some lights, but as you can see, like some of the lights are on, some of the lights are off. But after you take a moment to see around, they are on in an alternating pattern. If you would have rows of lights, they would not turn them all on. They will alternate which ones they light. It looks premeditated the way they're using energy, so it's visible barely so with a minimum amount of light.
Are they basically running off into like their houses?
Yes. Most of them seem to be going specifically to their places, like where you see other relatives receiving them and helping them in to put everything inside. Others are moving to the sides, still within the walls, but since this is sort of a mountain-like, it has like, like a hill mountain-like, it has some sort of layers. So some people would be moving to slightly different levels. Others would be actually leaving town in big groups, 20, 30 people.
Maybe we should find somewhere to get inside?
Yeah.
Okay. Literally, wherever you walk, you're gonna find someone, not massive numbers of people again, because the streets are just buzzing with this death throes of the market, to say the least.
Maybe go towards one of the nearest buildings.
Yep.
Knock on the door.
Yeah. Who is it?
Uh,
It's a young voice, male, maybe 13.
we're from out of town. Can you open the door?
Papa! Papa! Then you hear some murmur inside. And then, after a brief pause, the door opens just a little bit, and you see a man, full-grown man. Who are you? What do you want?
Well, my name's Chris. We're from out of town, and we hear the cycle's ending, and we want to ask if we could take shelter here.
See, we ain't familiar with what the cycle is. We're worried that it ain't safe out here.
It is safe, but you will. Where's your food and your energy? Just go.
Wait, can we stay with you?
I just have for my family. So, good luck.
Shit.
Well, I'm very confused. It says we're safe out here, but something about needing food and energy? I mean, got this. It's kind of energy. Oh, so I like flick the lighter.
What? Well, that first one I spoke to said something about the light going out. What about if we went up there? I'll point at where the beam is.
Okay.
I mean, they seem mighty fond of that flower, so I don't see why we shouldn't carry on in that direction.
Alright.
Okay. So you start walking upwards, and actually, now that you have to navigate where are you gonna go upstairs, you find a little trail, and at some point you find a group of people. Some of them with small offerings going all the way to that light. And they seem to be doing a very short queue, and you find yourselves involuntarily in this queue on your way to the light. Just normal people.
Hey, excuse me there, friend.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me what happens when the cycle ends or whatever it was? We're not from around here.
Well, when the seasons of the flower made her close, we don't have its energy.
Right.
And now that you think about it, you look sideways, and on the pillars, this thing, it actually looks like a flower. Well, it's not, but it definitely looks like a flower, which is its center. It's radiating this light.
Does it look like the petals are closing? Or does it look like it's a static thing?
Well, it right now looks unmoving.
Yeah.
But there are some fluctuations. If you want to analyze the technology, it's a roll.
I mean, I'll have a look at it. I'll examine it.
Yeah, sure.
See if it's like the flowers I used to see on the trail. 2 1s and a 2.
Okay, not all ones.
No.
Dang it.
It doesn't give you, like, you look at this flower, and it does have this very peculiar, definitely technological setup around it, and even though you did not succeed, after you studied a little bit, you do realize that the flower is not shooting this light upwards; it's receiving this light from above.
Oh, okay. So
you don't know how it works. You don't know anything else, but at least it's like, hang on a minute.
Okay.
The shadows are flipped. This is light coming from above.
I'll say
It was a concentrated beam of light.
it's not the flower. It's coming from up there.
Right. So
Yeah, the person in the queue goes like, yes, exactly.
how long
When
till
that's lost, the flower closes, and then we fall into darkness. And while we pray, the light will come back.
how long does that take?
About 3 months.
And I guess you've been stockpiling food and stuff to last?
Yeah, we have an extra 3 months to stockpile food and charge our energy reserves. So every time the cycle is close to coming, well, we start turning off the lights on the streets. But once the flower opens again, this will be a bright and beautiful town.
Oh boy.
Oh, excuse me. And she goes and plays what it looks like a bowl with some liquid in it. And the liquid, when you were in the little queue, even though there was light behind you, and you're not all the way to the flower, you are on the level below. When she goes into a small, like a little pew, and she gives out a little prayer and puts the bowl, and the bowl has this liquid. It's a little bit fluorescent. It looks like a fizzy drink, but it's a little bit fluorescent. And she puts it there, and she opens her hands wide and leaves.
Well, unless we find someone kind enough to take us in, it looks like we're still on our own here.
It's going to get dark soon.
Do we think that thing's going to close? And if so, could we maybe find out maybe up there? Just keep going up, maybe?
The kind of the space between the flower and the light coming from above, is that just kind of like blank space? Oh. Right.
Oh.
Yeah. That ain't something we can climb, buddy.
I take back that statement.
Well, it seems to me it can't be that everyone in this place has enough food and water and everything to last 3 months. There's gotta be bands of folks who have to make do some other way, surely.
I don't know, maybe those folks who don't have the stocks don't make it.
I mean, I've never heard of no mystical flower before.
No.
Does a flower really need all this stuff? I mean...
So the offerings that are put by the flower, are there any things that you could eat or... I mean, there's this weird fluorescent liquid. that one could potentially drink? Have they left any other offerings? Have they left any food?
Yeah, some of their offerings and whatever food there is very small, scarce. But you think about it, and if you're putting an offering to the flower, and you know you're gonna spend the next 3 months without energy or food, giving a little bit of your food to the flower is actually an immense sacrifice. And it's a huge show of devotion. So of course there is food. There are also trinkets of all kinds, meaningful things to the inhabitants of this town.
I mean, what if we wait for this cycle? And I'm speaking very quietly.
Okay.
What if we were to wait for this cycle to end? Everyone goes inside, hunkers down for the next few months. We just take enough supplies to see us through for a while. Once everyone's gone to sleep, and we leave and carry on. It might be somewhere else. Might be another flower that starts blooming when this one closes.
I mean, there's not much here, but might be enough just to keep us going for a little bit longer.
Made it this far.
Yeah.
Because we're up a bit higher now. We've
A bit
got to
higher,
where the
yes.
flower. Have a look around. Does there look like anywhere? Because obviously they've been harvesting food somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see places where there might be fruit trees or anywhere where there might be places where one could scavenge food?
Actually, what you can see from above, now that you see outwards, and you are not in the foggy bit,
Yeah.
which was mostly the outskirts, you can see that beyond the walls of the town, the rest of the habitat is dotted. Tiny flickers of lights here and there. Not that many, it's not a starry sky, but you assume that there would be places where people lived. And the spacing is so huge that something in the back of your mind says, wait, hang on a minute, this could be farms. A house of a group of farmers here, a house of a group of farmers there, a lot of land in between them, but with no energy or light. While there's light, you can harvest. While there isn't, you can't. So right now people are huddling up. Basically they were stockpiling at the beginning of the season.
I'll say, well, I think it's this. I'll point to the stuff by the flower, or what they've got, or nothing.
I don't see many options. Do you want to wait it out and then see how long we can last? Or did you want to try and find a way to get someone to take us in? I mean, I don't know about you, I'm not that keen on sitting in one house with some strangers for the next 3 months.
I think they've only got enough just to last.
Exactly.
So if we turn up, it's going to be us or them.
Exactly. And
And
Flower ain't gonna eat this shit.
if it's us or them, they're only going to pick them and they're going to try and beat the crap out of us.
I mean, of course, the less attractive option is go out in that farmland, find a house, and take it. But it doesn't sit all that well with me. I think we hurt far fewer people if we just borrow a little from a flower that doesn't need it.
We start hurting these people, sooner or later the others will find out. And then...
Exactly.
Okay, so most of the people around the area leave, probably to their houses. There's still light coming to this flower, and you may try to make do with what you find. Problem is, when you approach the place where the offerings are, you will notice that there are a couple of guardians there.
What do these guardians look like?
Normal townsfolk, they don't look menacing or anything. It's just normal people, probably part of an order or religion or cult or something.
I mean, I wonder if they don't go away when the light goes out. Maybe the offerings are here to sustain them in part? I don't know.
So have a look at these offerings. There's obviously quite a bit here, but assumedly it wouldn't sustain 2 people for like 3 months.
No. It will, I mean, you're hungry now, and probably you'll stop being hungry after you ate some of the offerings. Remember, most of the things are mementos.
So we gotta wait till the darkness, see what happens.
Right, alright. I'll check my watch.
Okay.
Just because occasionally I want to check to see about how long the light takes to, if the light's starting to change and what sort of...
It's not a very abrupt change. People in town will stop feeding light, like energy, to the systems that do not require it. At some point, a low hum you didn't even know was there stops. And then you hear some, escapes of pressure and valves you feel are being closed, and you stop listening to the very, very slow trickling or rolling of water. So the pipe system's being shut down, and other systems, like every other system, is being slowly closed. Lights on the streets are being turned off, and now people are seeing more aloof and a little bit more hostile, because they're starting to realize that you're here and you're not going anywhere.
Don't like this.
No.
Oh.
Maybe we should,
Come back later.
get outside a little bit. I'm assuming there's only there are these guardians, but most people have gone.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a place we could go that will be kind of outside of where the guardians are, where we
Yes.
can maybe wait it out?
Yes, down a lower level.
All right, I'm gonna head down
Go
there.
on.
Okay. Alright, how long are you gonna be there waiting?
Well, if we're hidden, I might wait to see if the guardians go by, so that we can go back and have the food.
Okay. So you're gonna be there for as long as if the guardians stay there for the next 3 hours, are you gonna be there 3 hours?
Don't know.
I think it depends if the darkness comes fully and it gets fully dark. I guess that'll be the point where we check.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if there's a shift in the light, of the beam of light, that will probably influence us. And obviously, if it's just hours and hours are going by and they're not coming down, then we probably do
Yeah.
something.
Okay, you stay there for a while. A couple of people look at you while they pass by on their last errands. Lighting is starting to die out a bit. Eventually someone not approaches you, just from the distance, like, why are you there? Radiance.
So
Who are you?
We're travelers. We don't really know where else to go. You see, we're just
You're
guided.
not supposed to be here.
Where are we supposed to be?
In a shelter.
We don't have a shelter.
Go to the lower levels. Maybe someone can take you in the lower levels.
I mean, we tried that, but no one's got enough food to spare.
No one can risk that.
That's what we
But I
thought.
have to show you down. You have to go to the lower levels. You cannot be here. You're too close to our flower.
why? What happens?
It's holy. And you're not us. You're not from here.
I'm gonna remember something. What I'm gonna remember is that I lived with my father in these woods, and it was fairly solitary, and that one of the things that we didn't like was when people from the town came and gave us trouble, because we were just minding our own business.
Okay.
And essentially that my father always took this badly, and I've learned that from him, that if I'm not hurting anybody and someone starts to push me around, I'm not very good at keeping my cool. And I'm kind of a bit like Marty McFly, if you call him chicken.
Yeah. Yeah.
If someone starts to kind of be a bit too aggressive, I will also become aggressive. I'm not very good at staying calm.
Okay, so
I guess in vampire terms, I don't know what the Nibiru equivalent is. My composure is low.
yeah, actually, I would put it as a penalty on empathy checks.
Okay. And I'm gonna why
It's different than the one Tom has, because yours is more with a social interaction, right?
Yeah.
But you can empathize with somebody. Tom can listen to someone's problems and empathize with them and all that. But you have a very low tolerance and threshold.
Chris is shit at empathy.
Your emotions
He doesn't do empathy.
overflow, so you would have this particular memory of your father being very, very cross.
Yeah.
Someone that came and told him and you to stay away from his house and his friends.
Yeah.
Because he was wild from the woods. And you develop this little bit of an intolerance for it. You want it to be a rank 1, or you want to be a completely oblivious, socially composure?
Oh, I think completely oblivious.
Okay, rank 2 and get 2 memory points back.
Okay.
Is Sylvia the last surviving hope for them to be able to speak to another human being without either not speaking or wanting to kill him?
So, Sylvia is not dissimilar, because she puts her hands on her hips, and she also has a memory. Of course, she was a well-known, renowned singer back in Brighttown. And
so you want to have a conversation with it?
Well, not necessarily. So she obviously worked at a bar, and she's a big, powerful lady, and she's got a big, strong kind of like voice. And there were many times where someone had to be thrown out of that bar. So she puts a hand on her hips. Now look here, we ain't giving you no trouble. So unless you move along, well, let's put it this way, we don't want things to get ugly now, do we? And she looks very big and intimidating.
Okay, so you're gonna look to intimidate him.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, you will succeed at a roll by using that memory.
Yes.
Yeah. So intimidate someone.
Yeah.
I would have asked for a roll. You will succeed. How big of a memory can you make it?
I can only make it a 2-point memory, so.
Okay, a rank 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yes. But the booming voice of the bartender, barmaid, bar owner. Probably.
Yeah, I think she owned the bar and entertained. Like it was a small town, so.
Oh, like a saloon kind of
saloon,
stuff. Okay. So you were going to talk to the guy. And
So I'm just starting to bristle. Like I'm just about to be like, look, we're not giving you it and all this stuff. But as I'm doing that, she obviously steps forward.
Okay.
And so I'll just nod behind her, like,
Yeah, she kind of crosses her big arms.
Someone approaches from behind. It's like, Jeremiah, leave him alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremiah.
Yeah, Jeremiah.
You are from out of town, right?
Yeah.
You can say that.
You want room on board for the cycle?
Please.
Yeah, sure, if you got something to offer.
I have work to do.
I mean, we can help with work in return for room and board.
Yeah, we can work.
Are you sure, Ormus? Yeah, I'm sure. I need people to pick up the silk and the whiffs. Come on. We're out of town. You gotta help me with this. The guy has a couple of carts. They're moving them around.
Yeah.
And then they leave town. Well, he leaves town with you.
So sorry, just as we're starting to go, I would like to give Jeremiah a really shitty look and be like, and then carry on with
Ain't
it.
worth your time.
I hate people like that.
And as you go down into the gates of town and outwards towards, the darkness, although Ormus has some sort of setup with some lights, mostly things that he's dragging. Imagine those high-tech thingies that float.
Oh yeah.
With wares.
Yeah.
And he's just pulling them, and with little headlights. Well, one headlight on at a time.
Yeah.
And he's asking you to do the same.
Mm-hmm.
You look back, and you see some more systems shutting down, and the last one on the top of the hill snuffs out as Jeremiah is still giving you a very hard look.
Oh, I'm gonna give it back.
Just drag him along.
It's my new nemesis.
Give up.
Okay, Jeremiah will lead you through the from the center of town, where you were, all the way towards his shack on the outskirts. It's a swampy place. It's opposite the side of the mountain that where you were then. And these are very oily swamps here. He's not very talkative right now. He glances back several times to make sure you're keeping up. But if you have any questions that you want to ask or make conversation, if not, he will silently lead you on towards his shack.
So, how come you got enough food and supplies for 3 more? Had a good season?
Oh yeah, I'm not a farmer.
Where'd you get your stuff?
I'm a weaver. We're weavers. Got some tunnels and a farm, worms, silk. Pipe worms make very nice webs, so that's why I get my livelihood.
Do you eat the worms?
No,
Oh,
we trade with the webs. So
Makes sense.
we're web weavers.
I mean, we've eaten a lot of worms in our time. There's not much to eat down in them tunnels.
Yeah, they're totally different the ones I have.
Do they make good cheese? He's very good with cheese.
So he tells us.
We ain't seen any of it.
Worm cheese? Where are you guys from?
I mean, worms make milk, right? You can milk a worm. Can you milk a worm?
Yeah, I want to milk a worm.
when you get to the shack, he sits you around a table. He gives you whatever passes for food. It's a small bowl. It has a faintly glowing blue stuff. I mean, the consistency of it is sort of strange. It's sort of mushy in places, but a little harder than others. And the taste is...
I've been before this I get a
Let's not dwell on the taste, but it's food, it's edible, and Ormus grabs a bowl.
And slurp it down.
And as you're having the first half-decent, at least meal in a bowl that you've had in many, many weeks, we'll take it out to the interval. So, do we have any questions about the system? Any questions in general about the story? Or
Any other questions at all?
is the chat ready for me to kick these guys out and have some information?
The chat is ready.
You're gonna be attacked by giant worms, guys.
And we'll see about maybe questions for.
Sorry?
We'll see about maybe questions for the system.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh wait, some questions will arise when I hear the questions from the chat, and I will try to implement what you guys are, your machinations into the second part of this beautiful, beautiful setting. I see the guys from the staff laughing and enjoying this thoroughly. Okay, so what do we have from the chat?
Right, I think I might even just jump in here.
Okay, so we will have
You can hear me.
Mitch. He will jump in and brief us in to what the chat has been cooking.
Hello. So I've been sitting in chat and we've woven a thick tapestry of story for these guys.
Okay.
So the monster,
Uh-huh.
right? We had the monster element, right? And it was linked
To the music box. Yeah.
to the music box. So the idea is that the deja vu is that they actually had a fourth member in their group. A fourth member that Sylvia was in love with, and they were together. But through some tragic happenstance, they left that member behind to save themselves. And that member is now the creature.
Almost all the way to the creature. I have a way of doing this, and this will be the deja vu will trigger a memory for Sylvia. That memory will give her memory points and influence, but it'll be a traumatic experience, so she probably will get some mental damage on it. So let's, with Sylvia, as far as you've said, like, I can put this perfectly in all the way to there. So like let's leave it there and go to Tom and Chris, so I can bring the guys.
Because we had there's something about Sylvia being into like music and stuff, wasn't there?
She is a musician, a singer, yes.
So the music box is hers, and it's like
It's her favorite song.
Yeah, it was like that.
Her favorite song. Oh my god, this is gonna be so haunting for her. I love you guys.
All right.
Except when I'm playing. If I'm on that side, you have to treat me well.
All right.
No.
I'll depart now.
Okay, cool. Have they thought anything for Chris or Tom?
I think the main thing about them potentially is the leaving of the fourth member. So it was kind of a group sort of thing. It wasn't one person pulled the trigger. It was a sort of.
All four of them left together,
Yeah.
and now the three of them are there.
Yeah. So it's more of like.
Like it. Yeah. And that I can tie it to Chris and Tom fairly easily. But I think that for Sylvia it's gonna be like the traumatic experience that also will give her influence points and things like that. So I'm meddling a little bit with the mechanics here. I'm just taking what we have on the kick and the quick start, and I decided to make it more interactive. And you guys have amazing ideas. So now I have a theme for the music box, which was something that was already considered here. So the music box is important, but the music box is gonna have a song that is Sylvia's favorite song, and I will keep that lover as a, my ace under my sleeve. Now for Chris and Tom, I will just tie it together. He's probably gonna be Tom's older brother. I like this. Let's call the guys.
I'm gonna pull the evilest smile when I go get them, just so you guys know.
the most evil of smiles. Okay. So while they are being brought back, I wanted to give a massive and huge shout out to Federico Sons, the lead writer and producer of Nibiru, and to their team. They were absolutely fantastic when we met them in Dragon Meet, and we adored what we heard. They had their own Kickstarter, and it was successful, and I'm so glad for them.
I think it's Phil's got to get in. So.
He can go back.
Yeah, good point.
So do we have any questions from the chat? The chat is, as always, lovely and thoughtful.
I bet they are.
Are they being thoughtful, are they?
Yeah. So we do have one which is another system from University 99. You seem to be doing a lot of world building as you're playing. Is the system so that it helps support that? So is the system built in a way that supports the world building as you go, or is a lot already established for you?
Well, the good thing about Nibiru, and this is one of the things that we had this conversation with the people at Dragon Meet, the concept of the habitat being many, there being many habitats in this huge space station, because again, this 1,791 kilometers is all the way from the core to what is like the outskirts, but there are like other areas, and the habitats could be somewhere else. I need to like read a lot more, because all the information I have from Nibiru is from this quick start guide, which is amazing. But you could have a habitat like Brighttown, and have another habitat being a super techie or sort of a aliens kind of place. So each habitat could have their own nature. So you can create your own habitats, and you could either take the ones that are created, like Brighttown. Brighttown is right here. I just wanted to give it a little bit more of a special feel for the characters. But you could also do your world building as you go. Or you can just you have your idea of the basics of the world and see how their interaction with it will form the world around you. I have not read more than the quick start guide, but it is a very open system in which what's most important is not the mechanics, but the whole feeling of the setting and the whole concept of working with your memories and your identity. So it's a very, very interesting thing. Does that answer the question? You can do some world building, or you can rely on this, or do a mix of both. I am just doing a mix.
Yeah, that seems good. I've also found myself a microphone, so
Oh, the power.
Oh, nice.
Sorry.
Do we have any further questions about the system?
So one question was actually if the players could just quickly describe their character's appearance or character art purposes.
Oh.
So
Yeah, with pleasure. So
left to right.
So
starting with Chris.
Chris is a young man in his early 20s, and he has a sort of resting frown face.
I think we know that has another name.
And yes, well, you know, not in Brighttown. And he's a fairly kind of lean-looking fellow. He's reasonably built, but not kind of heavily so. But someone who's obviously done quite a lot of outdoors work in their life. And beyond that, I would say that he has probably the beginnings of what is going to be quite an unruly beard, but is probably still kind of migrating from stubble to something really violent, and also has quite long hair,
Oh my
which
god,
is a bit
are you
lank.
Shaggy?
Yes, I
Do you
am.
have mad power levels?
I am Shaggy. But I haven't remembered that yet. That's going to be a memory.
How about your pocket watch? Do you keep it with the chain, or do you keep it safe in your pocket?
I think I keep it safe in my pocket. Yeah,
like out of sight.
Yeah,
not
so it's
even not even the.
The chain might hang out of the pocket slightly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I think that I think Chris keeps the pocket watch away. I think maybe Chris's father might have worn the pocket watch like in a more elegant style, but Chris is not elegant. And so Chris, at least not in his appearance. Maybe he once was and he's forgotten, but it's not in his appearance. So no, he keeps it as a keepsake, and he will.
Okay. I think I have my pocket watch, and I'm gonna give it to Peter for this section, so he can use it for character interpretation.
That is so lovely.
This was a gift from my parents, actually. So, so just
I feel the resonance.
Don't drop it, Smash.
Yeah, I will not drop it.
So Sylvia.
So Sylvia is.
You already.
Yeah, she's very tall. She's about 6 foot. She's a very strong, well-built lady. She's in her kind of mid-30s, and she's looking a little bit Mad Max Fury Road right now. It's been a tough time. It looks like she might have been in the tunnels for a while. She's got she found some old kind of cowboy style hat that she's wearing.
Like all
it's all beaten
bent
up
and beaten up,
like torn, and she's got like a pair of goggles on her forehead, kind of like underneath it, and she's got this very long like red hair that's been bunched into this big old plait that she wears going down her back, and like a very kind of beaten up looking, almost like just a cloak of some kind of tarpaulin that she found. Like her clothes are very much like found around the place, but yeah, she's quite like well built, so she's clearly kind of been surviving for a while, and she's got a very powerful voice.
How about your memento?
She has a kind of a slightly rusted lighter that has lasted a very long time.
I think I didn't bring it with me.
Ah, dang it.
I mean, I have it, but it's like in the room or whatever, so it's okay.
Do we have a lighter?
It's alright, I'll manage. I'm not going to flick on fire whilst we're recording. That would be a bad idea.
Thanks, Dr. Jim. No, thank you.
But yeah, so this has also helped her survive kind of as long as she has done, and given her a bit of light. It means that she can set fire to things if she needs to. So yeah, she's a pretty rough and tough looking lady.
Okay, and finally, last but not least, Tom.
So Tom's about 19. So he's still got that young. So he's more I say more lean looking than due to it was like touch younger than Chris, but wearing really quite baggy clothes, which disguise he has quite a toned body from the laborious cheese artisan business.
I love
The cheese business.
These buff cheesemakers.
Oh my god.
He's toilet.
Are you also the kind of guy that when you take off your shirt, it looks like your Photoshop with the abs and everything?
Oh yeah, he's fucking rich.
He's dreamy. He's cheesy dreamy.
Cheesy dreamy.
Look at Rachel's face. Is that enough? Oh, sorry, your memento.
With his he has a small knife which he has used to messily cut his hair and shaves. There's probably a few like scabs and that from where he's nicked himself. Just maybe a slight cut to his nose where he's tried with his small knife, but very light, no reflection. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be complicated.
Accidents happen.
Man, you gotta embrace the Viking aesthetic.
Is it? Did they have enough information for the guys?
Yeah, I hope so.
Uh-oh.
Ormus looks well into his 40s, probably early 50s. He looks like a robust man, big, massive beard, this auburn with gray hairs all over, a big, like a hat, with his hair not necessarily short, but not super messy. He's dressed. The outer layers of his clothes were mostly ragged. But when he took them out, you could see that he has vests and harness and things to move stuff around. Old, worn, but very sturdy boots and machete on his side that he used to clear the path on the way to his shack.
Okay, so I think we're just going to do a few shout-outs to our new subscribers.
Yeah.
Yay!
Right. I've got a little spreadsheet here.
How many?
A
spreadsheet.
I got a little spreadsheet. I'm back, but as a disembodied voice this time. Right. So we have 3 subscriptions. One by Looking Alive for a Corpse.
Oh.
Thank you.
One from Mighty Paintbrush.
Oh, thanks, man.
And one from Obra.
Oh.
We have a Twitch Prime subscription from Miss Unreason.
Oh.
And Miss Unreason has gone mad with generosity and gifted 5 subs to the community, which just sort of randomly gives them to people in the chat. One of which was me, so thank you. I feel quite bad about that, so I will gift a sub to somebody else. We also, by Obro, have a 100-bit donation.
Oh,
Thank
you.
Wow.
The first bit, so he's up there, number 1 on the bit sheet.
You're number one. You're number one.
And yeah,
Wow,
thank
thank
you guys so
you.
much.
Thank you.
very generous
That's
for
incredible.
our
You guys
first
rule.
stream
Yeah.
as affiliates.
We'll leave you guys to it.
Guys, no, we gotta kill time before Carlos gets back.
This has been
You got any questions for us? Whilst we're waiting for Carlos to get
Well, you
back?
know, this is a unique opportunity for you to ask questions to our wonderful techie guys who finally have a voice and power.
Yeah, after all this time being like...
Only one of us has got a face.
yeah. I mean, trust me, I've been abusing my power so far.
Well, I think we see get the others.
Oh.
Yay!
Wow, hardcore.
I really
I should
wanna
warn you,
make
that
fire.
knife is really sharp, okay?
That's why I gave
Just
you
health and safety.
I gave you the one with a sheath for a reason.
Can I make fire with this?
Actually, I disarmed that one. It's an old sailor's knife, sailor's lighter that belonged to my grandfather. It uses a sailing rope, and it's very useful in windy environments as the windy plains of Brighttown with all the windmills.
It's true.
Because if you try to light a lighter there, the wind will blow it out.
Yeah.
But that one will actually, the sparks will light the rope,
Ah.
and the wind will make it red. So you can use it to light other stuff like kindling.
Nice, thank you.
Give me a knife.
Put it down.
Just there. And we will always pretend that you're a very safe person with a knife around, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Health and safety, always first.
Yes.
Are we ready to go back? After
I'm
our...
busy rebelling
Yeah.
and then you found
Yeah,
Faith.
this is it now. Give them a like and it's all over.
Thank you very much to our subscribers.
Oh.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
and
thank
this is amazing. Thank you very, very much. Now, back to Oxidia.
Can I just check that? I know that there's Jeremiah, who is our nemesis.
Yeah?
But there is also the guy who's taken us with these things. His name-
Ormus.
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 Thank you.
With the auburn.
And he's
Shaggy.
like super beardy with a hat.
Yeah.
I know there was a much more elegant description that you gave. Which is
Oh yeah, and a
beautiful,
machete, but
but-
whatever.
Yeah, oh, machete.
That's alright, we'll have that soon.
Okay. Thanks.
So, after you have had your meal, it's funny because you ask a question, you do that, and you realize that his tongue is blue.
Is it fluorescent?
At the beginning only, but then after a couple of minutes,
Dang it.
not anymore.
That could have been light sources.
Ormus stays there, finishes his food, sits back and relaxes a little. So, what got you here?
Well, saw the light, didn't we?
Well, yeah, it's pretty dark down below. We came up here, saw a light, head towards it. I mean,
Oh, so you came out from the outskirts.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Very much to tell.
Yeah, we couldn't tell if we wanted to.
No. I know that's why I don't want to know. I've met a couple of vagabonds in the past. I mean, me living here in the outskirts of the swamp. You find them. And there's always something weird about you people not remembering anything. If you tell any of the crazy people in town, they're all so religious and so righteous, they will not take any of you. So every vagabond that comes leaves.
So, what happened to the other vagabonds that you met?
Well, they usually leave town. They stay here. Well, if they arrive during the dark cycle, they don't even stop by. There's no lights. You see nothing. But every other vagabond says, yeah, I came here with the lights. Some of them make a livelihood for a couple of weeks or months. And then when it's gonna be lights out, none of those psychos will take them in. It takes more than 3 months to get into their religion, apparently. And no one is willing to brave those 3 months without anything. So I've hired people to help me with my weaves.
Makes sense.
So, obviously, like, we need to eat. But when the cycle goes dark, is it dangerous in any other way? Like if we were out there and the light went out?
Yeah, are there any like creatures wandering around?
Well, certainly some, yeah. You're most likely to find farm animals. Sometimes a couple of odd wilderness creatures, especially in the swamps. It's not the most dangerous, but it's not the safest when there's no light. Your greatest danger is going hungry But I guess that after a few weeks or months, the last leg of the dark cycle is the most dangerous. Because creatures out there are going to be hungriest, at their hungriest. So
Right.
let's say that this is like a fair safe time.
Right. And what is it you want from us in return for giving us shelter here?
So he stands up and goes, the shack's not big. It's like a hammock on a side, a little cut, tiny kitchen. But he pulls a lever and you hear the whirring of some machinery coming to life and some lights come up in what looks to be like a little workstation where he has some very old, very like junk-like equipment. So he shows like a vague group of machines and goes, well, there's a tunnel system. Pipes running, crisscrossing all this place. This used to be a town, you know, built on this area. The pipe worms, they build their webs in the corridors of the tunnels. And we have gates to close them off. So whenever there is a section of the tunnel that has been woven into, and the pipe worm moves away, we seal it off, get our people, collect our stuff, and then we are section by section moving the pipe worm around, so they're constantly weaving their stuff.
Right. And these pipe worms, are they dangerous? Is that why you wait till they move on?
Well, not Bertha, no. She's big, yeah, sure. Looks scary.
How big?
Oh, big. Yeah, she's big. She's one big fluffy pipe worm. And he says that with a very affectionate smile.
Alright. So Bertha's cool, but presumably there are others who...
No, Bertha's the only one we have left.
Oh, right. Have left. Where'd the others go?
Well, things that pipe worms are not the domesticatable of animals. If
Right.
that's a word. I mean, my old ma was the one who decided to build this. She is the one who wanted to have all these wares with the weaves and the pipe worms. And she found Bertha when Bertha was just very small out of the cocoon, you know, or the chrysalis. But my mom had a decent life. She was a very famous singer. Well, at least here in Oxidia, she made a career of that, and with those funds, she built the mine, the tunnels, and the whole farm. And then the people would come, and a town will be built until people from the core came here with the senders and started selling wares whenever they could. So business has been rough.
The core? What's the core?
The core is just another place where people, where they send.
There's more of these places?
Places like Oxidia?
Yeah.
I hope not. This place is shit.
I mean, there's more cities nearby with people, like not far.
Well, there are habitats, but I don't know where they are. And people usually don't leave them.
So, the core is another habitat.
I guess.
And wait, you were talking about memories earlier. If we were to leave this place, Oxidia, will we forget everything again?
Well, I don't know. I've never left this place.
I think we never should have come in this place.
Well, why are we leaving in the first place? I don't know.
Yeah. Why would we go? Why would we go in the first place? If this is what was waiting for us.
Well, it's like he says, if there's like the core, if there's better cities out there.
We must have been pretty desperate.
Well, I'll tell you something. You ain't from around here.
Well, that's for sure.
I mean, it's not a massive habitat. I would have seen your face at some point.
So what do you want us to do with this worm?
Oh, Bertha, nothing. Leave her alone. She gets skittish. But the weave, that's what you're going for. So let me show you the tools. Come on. He takes you to a little side of the shack. He opens some doors, and he has like a little storage place. He gives you cutting tools, 2 sets of cutting tools. Sorry. A flashlight. The tunnels are dark.
Do you want to take that? I got a light.
Yeah.
I will, and the guy is like moving around, and I will. You see him a little bit uncomfortable. It's like, well, I guess for some sections that are big, I could illuminate them, but I don't want to run out of. I don't want to use a lot of energy, so. Also, be careful with the flashlight. Don't overdo it. Okay, that's mostly for emergencies.
Gotcha.
Because I don't want to have to be charging and recharging those batteries. I mean, this is gonna last for a while.
Yeah, we got you.
He gives you 2 transceivers, effectively 2 walkie-talkies, so you can talk to him. And he shows you how to operate the tools, how to operate a levitation lift, which is basically the thing you saw.
Oh, we carried the stuff with, yeah.
And in that, he fits 4 cylinders. They're empty, and he asks you to fill them with this weave. And he also provides Kalue. It's a small AI, okay, that just he puts there, bops it in, well, what passes for his head, and you just go, hello, I'm Kalue. Kalue knows all the labyrinths,
Right. So
all the tunnels.
we just follow that little guy and won't get lost.
Yeah, you can also ask him questions, stuff around there.
Right.
Right.
Are you ready?
I mean, I think so. I think we just gotta give it a go, really.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Okay, he gives you like a short rundown on how to use the tools and walks you to the back outside. It's dark. There's a little shack. He opens the door and looks for all the supplies and stuff that he will need, goes back, and where you are, shows you where is a lift. In the shack he lives. Next to the machinery he has to control. You see him moving some knobs and levers, and then when he looks satisfied, he just says, okay, first section is sealed off. So you'll go into that one. And then once you go in there, I will have to close the door behind you so I can give Bertha a ride past. And you will go forward, away from her. Understood?
Yeah.
Because she's on her way to sleep.
Right, got it.
Right.
It will be the path that is lit.
Right. So go towards the light.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Just like we did earlier.
Sounds easy enough.
Yep.
You do that, and you descend via this lift. This is a vertical shaft next to where he's working. It's a big lift. It's the 3 of you plus the thingy fit comfortably.
Yeah.
And you go down, 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 and then when it reaches the ground, and the door is gonna lift, it gets stuck. So I guess you're gonna have to.
I'm gonna put my hand underneath it, and I'm going to.
I mean, you could squeeze there, but then you could not take the levitation's lift.
I'm going to remember back from when working as a laboratory artisan.
Oh my god.
You are a very buff cheese artist.
Oh yeah. He's a Photoshop cheese maker.
Throwing around things for ingredients because it is Artisan places.
Carrying stuff,
carrying
moving
stuff,
around,
moving
lifting. So you're kind of a for power moving.
Moving through it, so it's more of a
Okay, so you're not gonna roll. You're gonna succeed. How many memory points are you gonna commit to this? 2, 3, or 5? I don't think you have.
No, but I'll go for 3 on that one because to make it a +2.
Okay, cool. So he's a very, very buff. The cheesemaker goes like.
Nice.
That's a +2 to just physical stuff.
To lifting, moving, pulling, shoving. So that kind of physical prowess. Yeah.
So just to clarify, because we got given a load of kit, and we got given less kit than there were people, if you like. So like there were 2 lights. So did you say that we would have those flashlights?
There is one flashlight.
One flashlight.
You've got that.
For emergencies.
Okay. Right. Cool.
Only.
Yeah. So I've got a flashlight. There were 2 walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking.
I'll take one of them.
So are you, Mr. Buff Cheese Guy? Are you taking a walkie-talkie, or are you allowing me to have one? She's got the other one.
I think at the point of just shifting that out of the way.
Okay, so you're too busy flexing and stuff. All right, so I'll have a walkie-talkie. And then there
Oh, you
are
can put those away.
The cutting tools.
cutting tools. And is there just like one set of cutting tools, or are there like
No,
3?
two.
There are 2 sets of cutting tools.
I'll take one of them.
So you should probably take one of the cutting tools
Yep.
if I've got the flashlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and probably you will be taking the levitation lift or whatever.
Yeah.
It's basic stuff. You go down the tunnel, you hear some movements, stuff. It's kind of dark, but then a door in the tunnel opens, the whole tunnel is lit. You go through, closes behind you. You keep on going to the other end, and the guy said, like, you hear from the walkie-talkie, from one of the receivers. Have you ever heard of that?
What?
What?
Reception's a bitch here. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, can you hear Bertha?
Can I hear Bertha? Have a listen. No, can't hear nothing.
Ah, she must have been asleep. Go to the next tunnel.
You alright?
He opens.
What are you, Cornish?
Yeah, getting that way.
Go on.
As I remember. I was Cornish.
The door opens, and you go into this section. And there, Kalue is the one that is going to be leading, and tells you, like, now we do this section.
Alright, little
When
guy.
you go in, it's completely filled with weapons. Strong, sturdy, that you need to use the power, the cutting tools as they showed you. Most of the cutting you're going to be doing is going to be for the foundations. What he wants is a specific, like a special type, like the webbing on one area that is close to some, I don't know, like a power rods or converters or whatever. So you see why this is a challenge. You will have to be cutting a lot of it to get the valuable stuff, which is a lot less. So a whole section might give you maybe half a cylinder, a little bit more of the good stuff.
Well, they've got the tools, so I guess I'm going to sit back and.
So are you gonna
wait.
start harvesting, or are you gonna cut away?
Yeah.
Oh, I wanna, let's see a check, let's see how much you pick up.
That's one success.
4.
Okay, that's nice.
That's no successes.
Okay, you manage to get about half a cylinder worth of stuff, and then you can ask Kalue, or try to it's not great reception with walkie-talkies when you're underground, but try to get a conversation
Well,
with the surface.
Say there, Chloe, where to next?
Next junction. Left, right, left.
We better follow the little guy.
Yeah.
You go, you reach a passage that is closed. Reach Ormus by the walkie-talkie.
I got this construction.
I can't make out bloody words.
Just say yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And the thing opens. The door unlocks.
Nice one.
Told ya.
It's not lit, but you start following Kalue, and then you see it progressively lighting on the way. But you also see how the lights are turned out, like turned off behind you. I'm gonna ask you to roll 2 dice.
Just 2d4.
That's 1, 4, and 1.
Nope.
4 and a 1.
No, 3 and a 1.
3 and a 2.
I got a 4 and a 1.
You hear a noise far away, like echo, like an echoing noise, like metal sheets against, like metal against metal, like some sort of grinding.
I'm sure
Hello?
that's just one of the doors.
What is that noise, Chloe?
What noise?
The
The grinding noise.
The doors make grinding noise.
That's what I said. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I'm not.
You continue with Kalue. When you reach one of the junctions, and the other door is open, he answers,
The sound might be almost redirecting power to the doors.
and you actually sort of try to make sense of it, and it's actually not that crazy. He's opening and closing doors. You can cut away. Remember, every time I ask you to make a roll, you can bring memories, good or bad. So if you want to cut away, maybe cut away. That means roll.
So is this the next section of...
Yeah, let's see how deep you have to go to get your 4 cylinders worth.
1 success.
Okay.
So, as she's trying to like see what she's doing, and kind of see to kind of cut down these pieces of weave, Sylvia starts to have another memory of when she was working in the saloon, as you do.
yeah.
And she was kind of like clearing up at the end of the day, and she was kind of sweeping ashes out of a big kind of like open hearth that they had, except some of the embers hadn't quite died down yet, and some of them kind of poofed up into her face. And so like she had like a load of these like hot sparks and ashes went in one of her eyes, and she's kind of suddenly realizes that's why she's got like a bit of scarring around one of her eyes, and it's a little bit milky. So her eyesight isn't very good. So she's struggling.
Oh, okay, that's why
to
you're
see what she's
struggling.
doing.
So you're gonna fail the roll. Rank 1 or rank 2?
Oh, it's gonna be a rank 2. She's got proper like.
Okay, so actually you have some scarring,
Yeah.
and that was a good description of your memory. But actually, your eyesight is more impaired than when it shows. Your
Yeah.
eye is slightly milky, but it's actually you're
Pretty much like
almost
one eye doesn't work.
you're
Yeah.
pretty much blind in one eye.
Yeah.
So again, with this effort, like she is like that gives you very little depth perception. So when you're gonna be cutting, it's like struggling with the tools and putting in the positions. But the efforts Tom is making gets you another half cylinder. I'm gonna ask another roll with 2 dice each.
Oh, all
This is a
Another cut roll?
a passive roll.
Oh, passive roll.
Yeah.
A 4 and a 1.
Oh, a 4 and a
and
3.
I got a 4 as well.
You got 4.
Okay, now you two hear the sound of distant metal doors closing. Nothing in your section. you feel it somewhat reverberating. Maybe you're leaning against something and you feel something. You go like, this sounds like that, like another closed door.
I'll say, oi, Kalui. What are those other doors opening? That's nothing to do with us. What are they?
Ormus is probably redirecting power to the doors.
Isn't that what he said last time? Is he just going to program to repeat the same thing? Starting to feel sounds too good about this arrangement.
Are you gonna go to the next section? I mean, you only have one cylinder.
Yeah, so I guess.
At the end of the day, he needs the stuff, right? So he wouldn't leave us down here.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess.
So, are you asking Kalua? Are you just
Sure,
walking forwards? Are
Lead
you,
on to
you-
the next intersection or whatever, Chloe.
Okay, you get to the next intersection. It's shut.
Guess we better try and contact up top.
So I'll say, well, we need you to open the door. I said, we need you to open the door.
Wait,
I'll have a look. Has the door got any kind of number on it or anything? So,
You give him the
I'll give
number.
him the number.
After a couple of tries, because this is very, like, only very short messages
Yeah.
are somewhat getting through, that door opens up again, because now you are in the maze of things. As you've been following Kalua, left, then right. So you're choosing a path, and probably from above it's really hard to figure out which of the many doors to work out. I'm gonna need a roll, another roll. 3 dice, normal 3 dice.
Is it a passive roll?
A passive roll, yes.
That's not too close to 2.
No falls over here.
1 to 4.
Oh, got 1 fall.
4, okay. You hear something faint. But now in this passage, once the door is closed, and you know that boom, dies down. Is that music? You hear the low chimes of what it sounds to be a music box.
Do you hear that?
But it was faint and it was briefly. It's like for a moment when the door opened, the echo came to you, but the moment it closed the loop. So you just got this, 3-4 notes, melody like.
Do I think it came from ahead of me, like the way we're going, or do I think it came
More to
behind
the
me?
side, more to the side.
Somewhere off to the side. I say, did you hear that? Something.
I didn't hear nothing, no.
Something over there. Like. Hey, Kalui. Is there, like, music down here?
sometimes.
Well, who plays it?
Ormus' mom.
What, she's down here?
No,
Well, where is she?
dead.
Where's the music come? Wait. Where's the music come from then?
Her music box.
Why is that down here?
Bertha likes the music.
Okay.
I mean, I guess that checks out.
Yes.
I don't know about worms.
So are you gonna follow the in the direction of the music box, or are you just gonna wander around?
I was,
Carry on the way Chloe
yeah, I'm
was
going to
directing
follow
us.
Kalui's directions, I think.
Okay. You're gonna reach a new section, and this time it is you, Sylvia, that listens to it, and that reminds you instantly 4-5 chords, and it immediately reminds you of your life in Brighton. Not all of it, but how that is your favorite song. The favorite song you played at the saloon. The favorite song you sang to Damien. Your lover. The love of your life. Someone who held hands with you when you left Brighttown.
Well, now.
Someone who has survived being a vagabond with you, but is no longer with you.
Well, now that's my strange. I recognize that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that back where I came from.
You remember?
Yeah, bits and pieces. I mean, I guess if there's more than one city, I mean, it's not crazy to think that a song could be known in a couple of them, but I wonder. I don't know about you boys, but I mean, if we're from the same place, it might, if we find it might give us a couple more clues as to where we came from.
Yeah, but didn't he say that worm likes the music and we're supposed to keep away from the worm?
I mean, he said the worm was harmless.
He also said the worm was big. He bragged about the size of the worm. He said,
But he said it wouldn't hurt no one. I mean, if we're quiet. Well, maybe we'll see where Kalue leads us, and it might take us in that direction anyway.
"Alright."
So if when we set off with Kalui, we're going in a different direction to the music, then I'll want to do something. But if we're heading vaguely in the direction of the music, then that's fine. I'll trot along.
Well, actually, it's your call because we're now in the area with connecting tunnels, but sort of in the center of this labyrinth.
In that case, I'll say, well, let's risk this music then.
Alright, we'll go in the music direction.
Okay. Alright, you're gonna be navigating the place, so I will need a sort of navigation roll from you. It's gonna be more like a mix of you hearing and then figuring out. It's like, if I hear it from here, it sounds like an echo. Let's take this path and then that one. So, roll away.
All of us?
Well, yeah, if you're gonna be trying to navigate separately, or choose one person to do the effort. Now we can do, how do you call it, combined roles. One person does the action, and this is for everything, even for fighting. One person does their action, and whomever wants to help adds half of their pool of dice to that. So if your pool of dice is 4, you add 2 dice.
Does it round down?
Yes. So if it's 3, it's 1 die only.
Yeah, gotcha.
So if one person is navigating, but all the other 2 are helping, you have 3 people.
Gotcha.
It'll be 3 plus 2, 1 plus 1. A total of 5 die navigating towards this sound.
So who looks to be leading the navigation? I think maybe I am.
Yeah, you heard the sound first.
And I'm kind of a outdoorsy, travel-y person.
Yeah.
Help you with that?
I'm not.
And to help, do we need to spend an influence point?
Sorry?
To help, do we need
No.
to? Okay, then
No, it's just helping. Influence
dice.
allows you
I
to
can
re-roll. Remember, influence allows you to re-roll as many dice as anyone rolls.
Yeah.
So you can spend an influence point to help him re-roll as many dice from his roll, or for the deja vu.
Yeah.
Let's add this little thing.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. 1.
There's a 4 in there.
There's the 1 success. 1 4.
Okay, it's sort of okay. You're sort of navigating towards what you believe is the sound. But actually, at some point, you hear again this grinding sound. But now, it's a little bit more prolonged. It's
So, do you think that is the worm?
I mean, The worm's big and furry, right? Why would it be making a grinding sound?
I mean, if it's big, I mean, what if it's really big?
I'm not so comfortable with heading towards that thing, then.
It's still meant to be harmless. I mean, let's just keep quiet. I'm sure it's old enough that it probably can't even hear us.
Kalui, has Bertha ever hurt anyone?
No,
Has Bertha ever eaten anyone?
no.
What does Bertha eat?
Little animal sparklings.
Has anyone ever got hurt collecting silk? down
Yes.
there? How did they get hurt?
Yes.
How many people got hurt collecting silk down here?
17.
Did they die?
Not all of them.
How many of them died?
17 sounds like a lot of people.
4.
And what happened to the bodies?
Taken out.
By
Ormus and other workers.
Wait, what was it that hurt them, if not Bertha?
Okay, internal collapse.
Well, I mean, that does check out. That's kind of standard health and safety of a place like this. Say we forge forward for now, right? We can't get out of here until we get enough of this silk.
Alright.
Okay. So you move forwards, and a couple of passages ahead, you will see a sparkling. What was Kalua referring to? It's a small, maybe it's a small animal, maybe cat size, a little smaller. It's not a cat. It's just a creature of this area. You don't see it very well because it's sort of covered and placed there. It looks like bait, basically. If any of you approaches it even slightly, Kalue tells you,
Do not free it. That's Bertha's food.
Right, okay.
Better that than I'll say.
Yeah, sure. We should probably get moving. We don't want to hang around this place too long.
no.
2 dice, 3.
Passive roll?
Yes.
That's wonderful.
That's 2 1s.
That's 1 4.
That's all 1s.
So 1 4 for me.
All ones?
That's some all 1s. You can check.
Yeah,
Oh.
I can see that.
And you did have a success.
I had a success.
Yeah, and so did I.
Okay. So you move into another chamber. This is a little bit wider, still tunnel-like. And Tom is looking at the ground, and he sees something that looks like it could have been one of Bertha's old meals. Another sparkling. Like small bones, some of them crushed. Not a big deal. If not for a scabbard that you recognize as being identical to the one on your knife. Very small scabbard. And you're immediately flooded with the memory of your brother. The one that gave you the scabbard. Well, and the knife. He had an identical one. And you went out to hunt.
For cheese.
And no, like walking around and to hunt with a little knife, you know? And then actually, how do you call it? Skin, whatever. You were going to hunt, probably some rabbits, and you were going to use your knife to skin them. But then you fell. And you hit your head. Actually, on the side, your ear. And you ruptured one of your eardrums. That's why you've been having trouble hearing all of this. Take an influence point, a -1 penalty on perception, mostly hearing tests. But you do have an extra influence point.
Yep.
And the memory of your brother, Damien.
Got eaten by a worm.
Oh.
I like the idea that actually cheese was a word where we came from for some vicious animal. So he was a cheese artisan, which meant he went out to hunt vicious cheeses.
That's actually what we call dragons in Brighttown.
It's cheese! Guys!
Oh no! It's the fire-breathing cheese is the worst, you know.
You broke you fell in some branches or leaves, and one of them just went into your ear. You're deaf in one ear.
Okay.
I'm half blind, half deaf.
And in very resting
Frown face.
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
Resting
As I like to call it.
I'm gonna then pick up the scabbard, hold the ear.
Now you recognize that it's Damien's scabbard.
Wait, hold on. Where'd you find that?
Right there.
That belonged to someone I used to know pretty damn well.
Looks like. But the one my brother gave me.
Your brother?
I have a brother?
You have a brother?
Are we?
We need to carry on and get to that music box. I'm sorry, guys, but we can't waste time around here. There's something weird going on.
Wait a minute. What? You reckon your brother was here?
This looks identical to the one my brother gave me, so it could be.
Now that you look at them together, they are a match. Like they belong like in a set.
You what's your brother's name?
Damien?
Chloe. Did someone called Damien work here?
Yes,
What happened to him?
he died.
He died.
Yes.
How? Where?
Internal B section 5.
Take us there.
Okay.
He turns around and starts walking.
I'm dragging the cart thing.
And you get to one of the gates. You have to open it.
So I'll look at the number and try and call it through.
What?
I need you to open the door.
Why are you there?
I said I just need you to open the door.
You do realize you're not being the most forthcoming of workers, right?
We got you some, I got one too, shit. We already got you a load of silk. We just want to check something out. We thought we saw something weird.
There's something weird, right, with you lot.
Look, we just want to check. I can't really get.
Roll to see if you can fool him. This is gonna be contested. So I also will roll 3 dice and see.
Come on! Roll good.
I guess. Anyone want to help?
Well, you can always use your influence points to re-roll.
Yeah, I'll spend 1 influence point.
And
to
roll
see.
as many dice as you want.
That'll be all of them.
Oh.
Is that the same roll?
That's literally the same roll, dang it.
0 successes?
Nope. As in, yeah, there's no success.
Oh, okay. You try to fool him and deceive him in some way. It doesn't work. He was like,
Get Kalui to put you in the tunnels I need you to be.
Alright then, we'll try this another way. Open that damn door. I swear I'll come up there with some very shiny gadgets we found down here, and I'll stick them where the sun don't bloody shine.
Yeah.
And I guess I want to make an intimidate roll.
Yes. Yeah.
I
That,
would like to assist.
Yeah, that was very scary.
okay. I'm gonna say okay.
Yay.
Do your intimidation. Is it at 1? Your intimidation is it at 1?
Yeah, it's a +1.
So you have.
One from.
And then, so
Yeah, one from
Yeah.
myself and one from my friend.
Yeah, that'll
Chris
be
over
like
here.
5 dice, right?
Yeah, watch me roll no 4s.
Come on, roll.
I'm not rolling in there, it's bad luck.
All fours.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, got 3 4s.
Nice.
Boom.
I'm scary mama.
You hear the shifting of power.
Yeah.
Then the tunnel goes black.
Oh shit.
Then the other door opens in front of you, and that area is illuminated.
It's all good, boys.
You have like a huge couple of corridors all illuminated.
Thank you kindly.
Suddenly, a screeching sound pierces the air.
Well, shit.
It reverberates to this area of the tunnels, which are metal as well.
Almost wish I was half deaf right now.
And on top of you, this circular section of a huge metal shuttle or chute, bends under the weight of something gargantuan.
Gotta move.
Yeah.
Leg it forward to get out of the way before something
Because
collapses.
it's starting to bend.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we run forward, trying out of the way.
Okay, roll your. Let's run out of the way, athletics, evade, or however you want to call it. The actions you're taking, because you're gonna run at full speed. Backwards, forwards, sideways, following someone. You make your individual choices because you very well could split up or try to give it together. So it's your call. Remember, you are at an intersection when you just hear the screech and the bending.
I'm going forwards.
Go forwards.
Then I will go forward.
Okay.
1 success.
1 success.
So I don't suppose I can blag my balance kind of navigating thing.
Yes, because it was treading carefully and things like that. So you're gonna be running at high speed and avoiding obstacles.
Yeah.
So yes.
Thank you. 1.
We all got 1.
Lucky. So you all got 1. You roll forwards, and then the light above you bursts.
Uh-oh.
And a section of something gigantic falls, and you realize that probably that is Bertha from tunnels above where you are. But you can see nothing. It is pitch black. She just broke the ceiling where the lights are. And what hits you in the face is the air and debris and dust.
I'll take my flashlight on.
And later on.
There is hazy dust that is actually, you see the beam of light as you move the flashlight because how thick it is. The ground shook a little, even though it's all solid steel. But then you hear it. Ground, stone against stone grinding, and a huge squeal coming your way. And from there, what you see is a massive blur of flesh and dagger-sized teeth, concentric. You don't see the whole form of it, but it's coming your way.
That's right.
I was gonna pick up a freaking, I think it's robot.
Oh, you're gonna, okay, pick up Kahlua.
Yeah.
But
I'm not
Robert.
being Kahlua.
I'm running.
No. You're running and you're.
How much does it slow me down with this cart thingy? This.
Well, you need to pull it so it'll slow you down. So.
Okay, I think I'm going to leave that behind.
Okay, well that's sensible of you.
First muscles McGee over here.
So now the thing is, the doors you were coming through are closing.
Oh man, we're gonna have to do a Indiana Jones like slide under the door with my hat.
Yeah.
And then go back for your
Yeah,
hat because it's
grab
gonna
my
fall.
hat.
Okay. So what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna try and get on the door, carry on the direction I was traveling.
Are you also gonna try to throw yourself down the door?
I don't know how much distance there is between me and the door, but it occurs to me as we're about to start running and the door is closing. If I haven't let go of the cart yet, could I swing it in front of me to put it under the door to try and create a gap? So I can...
Actually, that's quite cool. So I'll give you a +2 to keep the door open.
Yeah.
But you're the only one who's trying that tactic.
Yes.
So you would roll with that assistance.
Okay.
So you cannot get help from the others who are just sliding.
So
He does get +2
It's
though.
a 3 dice roll
Sorry?
plus 2 dice from
Yeah.
you, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Two.
2 successes. Let's see how heavy is that door.
I cut through it like paper.
It could be that it's not sturdy enough. Actually, you did it. You put it there. So you completely don't need to roll. You just throw yourself under the space. Of course, the door hits the levitation lift, and actually smashes it against the ground.
Yeah.
And the cylinders just wobble, and one of them falls, and you hear the of the bending, screeching metal.
Dashing underneath.
I'm gonna try and haul off as many of the cylinders as I can.
Okay.
Yeah, instead of the cylinders.
Okay. Just make a roll 3 dice and please get successes.
Would that,
I'm going under the door.
Have a
Yeah,
lifting,
we're on the
moving,
other
pulling, or
side.
shoving
I'm going
bonus?
Sorry?
Would that have a lifting, moving, pulling, or shoving bonus with the physical strength?
Yes.
That'd be 2.
Get 1 success or lose your hand.
Oh!
Ultimatum.
I'm just saying.
Remember, you don't grow them back in this game.
Yeah,
you
got 3.
3.
Okay, you pull one of the cylinders, one of the empty ones, easiest to
dang it.
move, and you have it with you. Actually, you have like a big cylinder with you. I don't know why, but you have it. And then the door completely shuts.
Well, we're still alive. It's pretty good.
I got one of them.
And
I'm fucking in it.
And in the distance, you hear the notes of the music box.
Right.
Now all 3 of you hear it.
We go that way, alright? We need to find out what's going on.
So, hang on, have you still got Kahlui under your other arm?
Yep.
I'll say Kahlui. That Cajun that killed everyone, was that because of Bertha?
Yes.
Fucking worm.
So, when Almost said it was harmless, that wasn't really true, was it?
No.
Right.
Does does it need the bodies to be eaten? Parts by?
Yes.
Let's just go find this music box. Come on. Head off that turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to navigate the place again.
We're trying to follow the music sounds.
Okay, you're trying to navigate it with the music, but now with a flashlight, because you're not going into illuminated tunnels.
Well, we don't care about conserving that brother's energy anymore.
Well,
Well, it depends how long we're down here.
Okay. I'm gonna need a navigation roll from you, or from whomever is leading, and
I'll help.
I'll help.
okay, so that's 3 5 dice.
2.
Okay, slightly better. You are approaching the place. It is a music box that is playing there. When you reach the place, you realize why the reason you have not been able to pinpoint it faster is because you know when you have a music box, the ones that you know, and at the end is doo doo. So it's very slowly. Imagine that, but with a power cell. So it's like whenever it has a little bit of power, it goes on it, and you hear some notes. But then it just goes dormant, and then the smart meter in the power goes like, okay, don't give any output. But then, oh wait, I have a little bit of use, boom, and then more notes. It's not never a complete song. But you figure out that probably with one of the power straps of the cylinder, you could try to mess with the like, well, it would be like an electronics check or a technology check to try to rig it and give it a little bit of juice.
Are you a techno cheese kind of guy?
Techno cheese!
Well, if no one else is going to, I might look to pick the music box up. How big is it?
It's not massive. It's
Is there anything else around the area at all?
bones.
How big?
Human.
How many?
Quite a few.
More than 4?
Yes.
Kalui. I'll bang it on the head with something, with probably the flashlight.
Okay.
Not hard, but like enough to like donk. And I'll say, you said only 4 people died.
On the collapse, yes.
No. No, Kalui, you are fucking with us. There, look, you didn't. We asked how many people died. We didn't just say in the collapse. You are. This is.
They didn't die on the tunnels.
How did they die?
That fucker up there, Doolman. Sorry, I mean, Ormus, did he kill him?
Yes.
What?
Does he fucking eat people?
No.
Well, that's good.
What? How did Ormus kill him?
Machete.
Why?
What?
Feed Bertha.
You said no. Right. You said that Bertha doesn't eat people.
No.
You said Bertha ate those things, that bait, those creatures.
Yes.
Wait a sec. You used to told us not to go near that sparkling thing. Was that sparkling part of a human once?
No.
What?
So hang on, does Bertha eat them and humans?
Yes.
So when we said, does Bertha eat humans, and you said no, you were just lying.
Yes.
You're not a very good AI. You're not meant to do that.
Did Ormus tell you to lie?
Yes.
I'm gonna kill him.
What else has Ormus told you to lie about?
The webs in the center chamber.
What about them?
They're electrified.
What? So like, and sorry, was that where we were going to go? Out of interest, did we have a sense that that's?
Actually, yes, that's where Kalua was guiding you according to.
So, and if we'd followed you, we would have been electrified by them webs,
Yes.
and then we would have died
Yes.
because then Bertha would have come and eaten us.
Yes.
One more question. From me. Can you lead us back to the way up to the surface?
Yes.
I reckon we gotta go pay a visit to Ormus.
So, has Ormus got any other friends, or is it just him on his own?
He's alone.
Right. Are you programmed to help Ormus?
Yes.
How would you help Ormus if Ormus needed you?
I would let him know that you are going for him.
And how would you let him know? Can you walkie-talkie?
Yes, but we need to be in range.
Are we in range?
No.
I can look see if I can find some sort of receiver or some sort of antenna that would connect to. If you give him all something.
Give it a roll. 3 dice.
That's one success.
He has a lot of cables. Well, he's a small AI, but it's not a robot per se. You do know that he has some sort of transceiver, probably, but you know how to actually go about disconnecting it without messing up the whole thing.
How do I disconnect the transceiver?
You can't.
Oh, I'm sure there's a way.
No, there isn't.
So we've got two options. Either we take apart this little guy right here and try and find our way back ourselves, or we make him lead us back and
You want?
and we deal with whatever Almost prepares.
So yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah, but there's a lift.
There's a left and
Maybe we could
And he
find
opens.
something to help us climb back up if he doesn't open the lift.
And he opens the doors for us, right? So unless we can find a way back somehow, then if he doesn't open the doors, we're stuck.
Dang.
Hold on. Well, you have the flashlight. Why don't we just smash this thing? Then we see there's a cave in, and she crushed this thing.
That could work. That'd be some big bluff there.
Hey, Kalui, you said Bertha likes the music. Is that
Yes.
true? Is that true?
Yes.
Does the music calm Bertha, or does the music make Bertha do something else?
Bertha goes to the music.
So what if we could get that music box working, then we could make Bertha go one way and we could go the other?
Or conversely, we could turn on a music box. We could head back towards Ormus's shack. We could put the music box on the lift. Bertha goes up.
I mean, yeah, but what about the doors? How are we going to get past the doors?
Yeah.
Again, we say that needs to smash the thing, and we're trying to.
Thing is, right, Ormus, right, he wants us to die. So even if we said, hey, we've got the silk, we're coming back, he'd be like, no, go to the middle bit, get the
Yeah,
other
that's
bits, right?
true.
We
He's
can say
not
we
gonna-
have one full canister, and then we come back to get more canisters because.
I don't think he even needs us to bring back canisters. I think he can do that himself.
Yeah, I
And his
reckon.
other workers that he cares about.
I reckon he just
Yeah.
needs some food. That's all. This was just a trick to get us to feed his bloody worm. That's all.
So, our main problem is opening these doors.
Yeah. Hey, Kalui, can you open the doors?
Only some.
All right.
Could you open the ones to get us back?
We could go back without opening doors.
You know a route.
Yes.
Does it take us back to the lift?
Yes.
Can you make the lift work?
Yes.
So, will you, if we ask you to?
Yes.
Alright. So here's the thing, right? Once we get into range, then what are we going to do?
Well, firstly we need to decide how we're going to use this music box. We going to throw it and send that worm off, or are we going to try and use the worm to get one over on Almost?
Well, I guess if we can get the box working, that's the first thing.
Yeah, maybe we should try and fix it first.
Hey, Kalui, are you good at fixing music boxes?
Yes.
Right. So,
See, Kalua just does a change on the batteries, and it's fairly simple. And it's done. Test it. Presses play. Immediately, like all of this floods back towards you in a second. You hear the song, and you are there. You're with Damien, and then you see him. It's yelling at you, telling you to run away. He'll be staying behind. He'll be there. while pushing you away. And then he disappears. For those of you outside Sylvia's mind, the first notice of that Kalua tests the music box, and it indeed works, and it works well. Because you hear a lot of rumbling. The moment those notes reverberate and echo, you hear the rumbling and the squeal.
Right. Okay, now I got an idea. Like that music box. What if we get the robot to tell us the route back? Send the robot off with the music box. But I know that song.
We got to be quick then. Chloe, what's the route back?
Follow me.
Sure.
Can you tell it to us?
Hmm?
Can you tell it to us?
Yeah, he starts explaining the route. It goes through the center hub.
Is it possible for us to memorize it?
He talks about too many turns, and you are apparently on one side, and you need to go through the center to get to the lift. It looks like a complicated, because it's not a straight route. He is taking you through the route that has either open gates, because of how the cycles work. On if you close these gates, you open others.
So I'm assuming Kalui is not the nimblest of robots.
No.
Or AI. So I'm going to say, hey Tom, can you pick him up?
Are there any, in the room where Bertha fell down and where we're running through, are there any shafts that lead downwards? Or like holes?
None that you have seen. None that you have seen.
We need to find a way of getting this music box far away from us. And we need the robot to show us the way back.
Well, we can turn the music box on, leave it here if you want. But I think we should take it, we'll turn it off, run, and then...
That's the thing. We don't actually need it.
Yeah, but...
2 dice, everybody.
Oh.
No, sorry, 3 dice, all of them passive.
1.
Success!
Nothing.
It's coming.
Run.
Alright, we're just gonna run. Fine, we're just gonna run.
I've just got the music box.
Okay,
No,
music
it's
box,
off.
Kalui, just running.
Run.
Okay, cool. So you're going according to Kalui's directions.
Yeah.
Apparently.
But at some point, this place is like, you get to this central chamber, and this place is full of webs. And Kalui tells you,
These webs are electrified.
Okay.
Don't touch anything.
How do we get through that?
I've got an idea. Are there any side passages or bits where we could, like, even if it's a little bit further back, where we could go so we wouldn't be in this chamber, in the main passageway?
yes.
Okay. I'll say, right, get back there, get your heads down. I'm going to put the music box on, and I'm going to skim it so it goes like into the. Like,
I think as a go, I'll skim it. I can.
yeah, skim away. I'll give it to him and run.
Oh, you're gonna throw it to the other side of the
Trying
chamber?
to skim it because
Yeah,
it's far.
try-
Yeah, so
to get
it's going
the-
to try and draw Bertha into the chamber where
To
the
like
webs are.
crash through all the
To
webs.
crash through the webs.
Okay.
Because at the moment we can't go through the webs because they're electrified.
Well, you could if you're very, very careful.
Yeah.
But we're trying to get.
We're going
Bertha
to try and get
smashed all
Bertha
out.
just to break the way through for us.
Okay, but then you're gonna be losing the music box.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. You throw it, and then you hide.
Yeah.
Bertha literally you don't see her, because when you see the mass that is coming, like this is
Yeah.
of a nightmarish flesh moving with little like on the side, like it's the worst kind of worm maggot. It's just, you don't see enough of it, because the moment it starts going in, it fills the passage. So whatever little light you had from the connecting terminal
Yeah.
that was connecting to the whole web that was electrified, it's gone, and you're in the dark, while Bertha is swiftly going up behind you, squealing as she approaches the music box. And then you hear it. The end of the song. And Bertha goes mad. Starts thrashing the place, looking for the song. A music box that she probably devoured or destroyed.
Hide.
Just gotta wait it out. Just see what happens.
So, after a few moments, there's calm. As you hear the thrashing leaves go away in another direction.
Okay, I'm gonna and I'll creep out and start creeping towards the central chamber.
Okay. It's a disaster. It's literally Bertha just bulldozed her way through. So if you wanted, you could continue towards the shaft.
Yeah, totally.
Do it.
I'm assuming that the electrified webs are no longer an issue.
No, not anymore.
Okay.
But there's absolutely no power or light, so you are depending on the flashlight. Yeah.
I'll say to Chloe, how far now?
Not far.
I'll say, is it just straight on?
Yes.
Are we within range?
Sorry?
Are we within range?
Yes.
Have you told him?
Yes.
What was his reply?
He didn't reply.
Yeah, shit, he's waiting with a knife.
The machete.
It's
Yeah.
3 against 1. We got this.
What? He's got a machete.
Yeah.
He's up on the top of the lift.
Well, we got these cutting tools. They gotta be useful for something.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's basically a scythe.
I'll hold him.
Okay.
Stab him.
So head towards the shaft, I guess.
Okay, you're going towards the shaft. When you get there, you get close to the shaft. You see that all of those doors are closed. Like the one you were supposed to go through, the one next to it, Kalui takes you. If you ask them, he says that Ormus just shot the ant chamber for the left.
Kalui, can you open this door?
No,
You can or you won't.
I cannot.
Are you lying to us?
No.
Kalui, is there another way for us to open the door? Like a manual way?
No.
Like I said, I bet Bertha can open this door.
Yeah, the thing is, we don't have that music box anymore, unless we could make something like that music.
Depends if it's the music box she's attracted to or whether it's just a song. Because I know that song.
You reckon you could sing it?
Yeah, hell, I could sing that song.
Well then,
But there will be a massive pipe worm coming through here as soon as I do. So we probably need to think of a... what do we do when it crashes through here?
well, I mean, if it hears the music and comes, right, then you could stop singing the song, we could hide, and maybe it would just...
Yeah. Is there somewhere to hide?
Yeah, you could. You could hide on a side or something.
Right. I think that's our only option.
Okay. You're gonna start singing.
Yeah, she's gonna try and
Your
sing
son.
the song.
Okay.
Singing to the worm.
Start singing. And you start moving your head from side to side until you find the best reverberating sound. It's like, oh, if I sing in this direction, it'll go
An
everywhere.
underground opera house.
Sort of like that. It feels like very resonating. And you start feeling the tremor. The tremor and the squeal moving in your direction. But you, Chris,
Hello?
you remember something.
Oh.
Sylvia's voice
Yes.
triggers in you this moment of deja vu
Right.
in which she would sing to Damien. Because you were there. You were all there. You were all friends and you were together. And she would sing to him. But you also would listen to her sing, trying to get Damien out of the way in a safe place, and Damien asking her brother to shut her up. You've been here, all of you, and you made sure Damien stayed behind to save your own skin.
What I did. Okay.
And Sylvia singing just triggers back the memory of you doing this and then asking everyone to leave the habitat so you would all forget and no one would know you were the one who got Damien killed.
Well, there's a giant worm heading towards us. So I'm sorry not going to have people in conversation about it right now. But obviously there will be a kind of Zoom moment.
There would be most definitely a Zoom moment. So you're singing, Sylvia.
Yeah.
And Bertha is coming to you at top speed. There will be a point in which this massive, gigantic pipe worm will be bursting through anywhere with these rows and rows of sword-sized fangs and teeth going your way.
Yeah.
I've already hit me.
The goal is to, like, at the last moment when it's too late for the worm to, like, change its direction, to then, like, press herself against the wall and try and, like, get out of the way.
So I think in light of this memory, because originally I was just going to go and hide as far away as possible, but I think Chris is going to feel maybe that he can't do that quite. He can't, like, chalk up another death on his conscience. So he's going to be waiting nearby so that when she goes to... that he's nearby enough that he could potentially try and pull her. So he's trying to get on, like, the edge of where he thinks the worm is going to be, ready to try and assist her to get out of the way.
Okay, cool.
Even though that puts him more at risk himself, obviously.
Actually, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Take the shift, transfers the risk from her to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so remorse.
Remorse because, you know, Damien died, you know, my fault.
Yep.
Now I'm remembering.
You killed my brother!
Bertha bursts through magnificently and goes straight for you. You don't get to see her in all her glory. But you do know that just one of her fangs in her circular bandsaw of a maw is about the size of your arm. And you are there and try to shut up at the last possible moment and move away before the warm embrace of death claims you.
Warm and moist.
Very wet for you. It's time for you to get out of the way. Make a get out of the way roll, whatever that is. Are you good at getting out of the way? You don't have any memory points back, right?
She does, but she has been saving them.
That's a good thing.
Are you helping me get out of the way or not?
I am helping.
Alright.
Okay.
Do you remember I'm there to assist her get out of the way?
Two dice.
2 dice. 2
Added,
Okay.
yes. So it actually is very brave.
Very brave. That's altruism.
Yeah.
That's one success.
I'm going to spend an influence point to let her re-roll as many dice.
Everything that was not a success. Okay, cool.
So this is me, you know, coming in to...
Yeah.
Oh man, where's the drama, man?
I mean, this is my luck.
Yeah.
So how many did you get?
1 success.
Total.
Yeah.
Yay.
And you're transferring damage with Peter.
Oh, I guess I am.
That's quite a few dice to go on that.
You could always spend an influence point yourself.
I kind of remember as well.
No, not you.
Sorry?
That's
Oh no, you can influence her roll, not mine.
Oh, I can do that, can I?
Yeah?
Yeah, you could.
You want to do it before I roll?
I'll do that.
Okay.
Cause I haven't got much influence left. I always spend some on mine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Try this again, guys. Why? I shouldn't be making these rolls. I got the worst luck.
Make him...
Oh, it's another one.
One more! So that's 2 successes.
Okay.
Well, it's a contested roll, so
Yeah.
we just have to hope.
No way Bertha has any dice.
Can I ask both of you to do 2 on your tracks?
So 2 on our health tracks.
Oh.
Well, I'm worse off than you are right now.
So, yeah.
Bertha, smashes head first against everything. You are like somewhat trapped between her and the wall, and you have some like jagged pieces of rock on the back. You are on the other side because you saw Bertha go past.
Makes those cheeses.
You have it right there. You know you have it right there, but you can't see shit. You are in the most utter, complete darkness. Completely different from what you had in Town. And that thing is writhing in front of you somewhere. Roll, please, 3 dice for fear.
Oh.
This is an unmodifiable roll. It's just 3 dice, period.
Do it.
Do it.
It's only fear. What could happen?
Oh, look
You
at
got it
you.
one success.
Okay, that's good. Only 1 on the mental, on the mind track. It shakens. You're shaken. You're.
We're too busy being ground up.
Yeah.
But you shut up. So Bertha is gonna do what she does when the music stops.
Uh-oh.
You do know that, right?
I mean...
So has Bertha gone through, like, past where we were, into the... she's punched through the... So is she not in the... Or is she actually in the... It's so big that we're actually really very close still.
Yes, actually she's so massive that she just not only went through all the way, or where the bottom of the lift is, but her last third is still where you are. You're not being squished right now, but close proximity and no light whatsoever.
Is there space to climb on Bertha's back?
No.
Okay, cool. So she fills the entire tunnel.
I think... Do I still have my flashlight?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm hoping that the worm does not track my sight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put the flashlight on and take Sylvia as away, in the general direction of away from Bertha.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, thing. Cool.
Unless,
where's Tom
unless
doing?
Sylvia decides to do something else, of course.
What's Tom doing? Because you have no source of light, right?
You still have Chloe? Do you still have Chloe, or is Chloe just with us?
Oh, he has Chloe. He's the one who's been carrying Chloe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have Chloe.
Yeah. I think at the moment there he's just kind of frozen to the hood.
Okay, cool.
I kind of want to yell out, Chloe, you're a machine and you've heard that song. Can you replicate that music box?
Yes.
Do that. Stand in get in that elevator shaft. Get past the worm if you can.
You don't. Well, you with the flashlight try to see, and you probably see like a little passage that Kalui could go through, but you would have to give the flashlight to Kalui. He doesn't have any light of his own.
I'll say, I've got an idea. Just wait a second. So, do I know where Kalui and Tom are in relation to me? Are we away from the immediate thrashing?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to go...
Bertha passed.
Okay.
And you stayed behind.
Alright.
You moved her out of the way, and you're where he is. He's not moving.
I'm going to go over to where Tom is. I'll say, I'll do this. I'll do this. Give me the thing. Take Kalui.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take Kalui and I'll say, right, when I put you down, you count. How long do I think it will take me to get carefully from the, if I was trying to avoid the worm, from the shaft back out to where we are here?
Maybe 15-20 seconds.
I'll say you count,
maybe a little bit more because you're injured.
I'll say you count to 60.
Okay.
And then you play that tune. Got it?
Here?
When I put you down.
I play here.
You play the tune when I put you down after 60 seconds. You got it?
Yes.
Right. So, I'm going to start approaching and I'm going to remember the reason why my father carried this pocket watch. It was to check timings because we were scavengers and poachers.
Okay.
And this was how he knew things like what patrols were of people. He could watch things and work out timing, so we would know exactly when to go in and steal things. Because we lived in the woods, in Ashen Woods, so we could then go and steal from the people of Brighttown to then survive.
Okay, cool.
So my memory that I'm getting is that, of course, I'm very good at creeping into places.
Yes.
And
so you remember a particular night
Yeah.
in which your dad was watching at his pocket watch, and he just closes it and says, "It's time. Hit the tower." And you would approach the center of town unnoticed.
Yeah.
On your first heist, actually,
Yeah.
when you were a kid.
Yeah. See, because my dad was a crook. We just didn't know until now, but I've just remembered.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it goes with the whole morally flexible kind of thing when you kill Damien. But, I mean...
Yeah. Well, I'm having some remorse about Damien, right?
Yeah.
But I'm trying to reform. So,
How big of a memory
I'm
is
spending
this
3 memory points.
one? Oh, so this is a rank 2.
Yeah, because it's what I was. I was a crook.
Yeah,
so
you
I'm
were a
gonna be
crook.
good at it. I'm a good crook, or should I say, I'm an effective crook.
Yeah, you're a somewhat effective crook.
So I'm going to creep with Kalui through this narrow pathway to the lift shaft so I can put him down.
Okay, brilliant. You are going to put Kalui physically there.
Yeah, because Kalui is...
That's risky, man.
Because
yes.
I figure that Kalui is just too crap to get there on his own.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start the thrashing of Bertha.
Okay.
However many successes I got is the penalty you get to your roll.
Okay.
You're rolling right now 5 dice.
Yes.
Because you're making it at level 2, a rank 2 memory, right?
Yes.
And I believe that is very heroic of you.
Thank you.
So I think you should consider using your influence points for deja vus if need be.
Yes, I'm all thinking that already. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see how difficult Bertha makes it for you, because for each one that I get, you will deduct 1 die.
Yeah, gotcha. And then I have to roll to get a success with whatever's left.
Yes, because I mean it's whatever room she gives you.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
-3, which is not -1, 2, 2.
-2.
-2.
All right.
-2.
Anyone
This
assisting
is a
me in
wonky. This is a very wonky die.
Anyone assisting me in any way in this?
I think. I don't know. Is anyone assisting in any way?
I think I'll kind of assist a little and helping kind of shift.
Can I try and like confuse Bertha a bit by like seeing a snippet of the song and then moving just to make her
I like that.
confused and keeps changing positions?
Okay. Get 1 die. Yeah, well, that's gonna have consequences.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what happens. I haven't got any. So I think I should spend an influence point at this
And
stage.
re-roll, okay.
And re-roll the dice.
Very
That's
well.
probably the most effective
Yep.
use of my points here.
Oh,
1.
I will spend 1 so you can.
wow, you got loads.
Okay.
You're so influential.
Federico, perdón si no me conozco bien las reglas, pero me gusta. Send a message to Federico?
No.
No, okay. 1 success.
1 success.
Let's see if Bertha hears you. I think you guys should consider influence points for the narrator. Okay?
They will say me like, you can have all the influence points you want.
Yeah, probably. I tweet me at Fantoche and tell me, please, you can have more influence points. Actually, Bertha does hear you, but she hears Sylvia's song more intently.
Yes.
Than what she might hear you. So you get all the way there. Now you're standing there in the lift.
Yeah. So I'm in the lift.
Mm-hmm.
Is there still like way out where there was before, as in I can skirt out? You know the way I've taken Kalui in?
Yes.
So I'm going to put Kalui down,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to
Head back.
but I'm going to be basically keeping myself as close to the wall as possible,
Mm-hmm.
and working my way back out.
Okay, cool.
And as soon as it gets closer, I'm going to kind of pull it back in.
There's a whole Bertha in the middle. What are you gonna do?
Once this has kind of happened, I guess I would then also try and hide myself against the wall as well.
Okay, yeah, because Bertha is starting to thrash her way through.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you to make one final because you might die if you fail. Get out of the way roll.
All of us on the same?
The two of you because he's on the shaft. Bertha is trying to thrash her way back.
That's my last influence point. My last influence point gone. I was hoping to save that.
Yeah,
I got one.
To save that as well.
Are you also selling your influence? We are without influence.
Yeah, I got none there.
It's okay that the chat made sure that you had influence. Like, you have had enough influence up until now on the one I gave you and the memory, because the chat has been producing these elements, so I am giving you mental damage but influence points, you know, it's like a stick and carrot.
I've got a success now.
Yes.
Sorry?
We both have a success.
A success, so you actually... Yeah, you both take one physical.
So, I have filled up my damage track.
You're in your death track.
I'm on my death track.
You are effectively, almost certainly dead, unless he can save you.
Yeah.
There are no rules for this. I am just assuming that if he wishes to take that one instead of you.
Oh.
I mean, you're only taking one so far.
Take it.
You do have cheesy abs.
Yeah, you got
you could
such
probably-
cheese right now.
I'm just ruling it out because I think, okay, you actually grab Sylvia, shield her, get the whole brunt of it because it's just a slight movement made by a mammoth of a creature with all that mass and momentum, and your sent sprawling outwards. You're badly beaten and bruised. Your ribs, you know you cracked many on this one. And you can barely breathe. You can feel the taste of blood whenever you breathe in and out. Sylvia seems to be alright, but she's also, her one good eye, sort of trying to listen, like to see what's going on. You can barely hear, but you do. When you see her like that, you see each other face to face. You remember when you looked at each other face to face, when she was holding hands with your brother, and your brother said, "Yes, Tom, I'll follow you anywhere. We'll follow you anywhere." And grabs your hand as you take all four of you out of Bright Town to become vagabonds. Get an influence point, but one health on the mental track.
Wow.
Sorry that you were, I mean, it's a trade-off, right?
I'll take it. I have plans.
Bertha's thrashing, so it's your get out of the, you're close.
Well, I'm checking because I know in 60 seconds.
Oh, yeah, you have it. So, you will have, just one extra die. I will give you two, but I will reduce one because of the sheer danger of the maneuver. Yeah. One extra die to your get out of the way roll.
Okay.
But you should remember, you should expect to suffer.
So it's a regular dice roll.
Yes, plus
one dice.
Yep.
And I have no points or things of any kind. Oh, hang on. One more thing. Does this count as being stealthy again?
No, this is getting out of the way.
Okay. Does balance count as getting out of the way?
What does the chat say?
What does the chat say?
What does the chat say?
First question, first reply,
yeah, first one.
Regardless of...
Quick on the draw.
Does Chris's balance, nimbleness, count for his let's not get Bertha kill me roll?
Yes.
I mean, it may make no difference whatsoever, but thank you. Thank you, people at home.
Yeah, it might make no difference actually.
Oh, but it did.
2.
Okay, so you only take 1 on your physical track.
Oh my god. I am nearly dead as well.
Yeah, I need to overcome.
Sorry, guys, you just got.
I mean, if you get half of as many, if I win, you get 1. If I get twice as many as you, you get 2, and if you get 3 times, it's 3. And getting 2 is right there. You would have gotten 2. You just got 1.
So yeah, I'm down 3, and I've got 1 left on my health track.
So all 3 of you are nearly dead.
Yeah.
Well, I'm half insane and half.
You have 2 on their mental one, right?
2, yeah.
And 1 in the mental one.
Do I have 1 in mental one? I have.
Yeah, when you remember your tragic lover being dead.
Oh.
And
you haven't given me any so far, but should I have had one?
I think it was a betrayal, right?
Oh, the betrayal. Yeah, you didn't say, but I will add it on now.
I'm sorry.
No problems.
I was a little bit involved in that.
To be fair, there was a worm. It was very exciting.
It was all confusing. Also, all of those interactions started with what the chat wanted this group of 4 originally to be.
Very cool. Okay.
So, you barely make it. You make it out. You break 1 leg on your attempts to move completely out of the way, and you're batted out of the way, and you land with a quick thud. You try to get some air, and what you get is more dust and coal, and you're coughing. You have blood in your nose.
Wow, gross.
But for a second, everything goes silent as the first notes of a song start playing.
Raise the lift! Raise the lift!
The lift was already going up.
Good.
So you hear it upstairs. Everything is quiet while Bertha, realizing that there's another source for the song, goes from below all the way up the shaft. And you take cover.
Yeah.
Because she's sort of creating a sinkhole as she digs her way to the top.
I'm shielding Sylvia with whatever. See, I have that memory.
Yeah.
Shielding Sylvia with her own body.
Protecting Sylvia with her body. And you hear from your walkie-talkie and your walkie-talkie, so it's good that you're separate. You're in separate places, but both walkie-talkies come. And you hear your tormentor, Ormus, comes by.
Why did you send that box my way? What did you do to Kalui?
Then everything goes silent.
No screaming?
We still gotta press the button first. Hold on a sec.
It really hurts!
You crawl, you hold each other, you lift each other, you help Chris walk while his leg is dragging behind him. You're barely breathing, and your back is hurting. You're all battered and bruised. You try to climb what's left of the service area for the lift. But at some point, you're literally climbing rock and dirt and mud. And once you reach the top, the only thing that's left from Orma's hut is a crater and a trail that veers off to the final lights of the flower of Oxidia before all lights are off. Thank you very much for this. I hope I did your game justice, Federico and everybody from Nibiru. I took a lot of creative liberties for it. I adore the fact that I could involve the people in the chat. They were amazing. They had the idea of the group being 4 people and one of them being dead and probably your lover, so maybe your brother. And I started piecing together and creating a backstory. They had all of these super cool ideas.
Our chat is so amazing.
Our chat is amazing, except when we're playing spectaculars and they want to kill me. But
you mean the weakness of the water and the
the water is your weakness kind of thing. A huge, massive shout out to our subscribers, and I think
we got a couple more.
Oh my god!
We have 2 more subscribers, and guys, take it away again.
Yeah. So we got Amis Unbalance with the Twitch Prime sub.
Yes, thank you.
And we've got the gifted sub from me to Story Encode.
Oh, nice. Thank you very much.
We have a 100-bit
Aww.
cheer from Looking Alive for a Corpse.
Hey.
And Obro not allowing his first place cheerer to be taken away from him gave us another 100 bits.
Healthy competition.
Thank you very much.
So thank you.
Also, we've got a few minutes left, so I'm just going to see if I can quickly get the fan art, which was drawn up by Kirsty, Nerdy Birdie, Syrup Owl, and we had another.
Oh my god!
as well.
Oh, so much fun! Thank you very much.
Thames one
thank
done
you.
earlier as well.
Fantastic.
I'll have a look after.
I'll have a look at it all later. Thank you very much. So guys, enjoy the fan art. Remember, we will be here back next week with episode 16 on Blood on the Thames, and Titus will be sitting here in this chair. We will try to start on time next week. Actually, the change of venue just affected our starting time a little bit, so we just have to use that lessons learned and incorporate it for next week, so we should all be fine. And now the guys are looking at the fan art, and I want to look at them too. And yes, any question or comments that you have, send them our way, or my tweet, or the Blood on the Thames. Ask the players. Check out Nibiru. I will not stop recommending this game. I use the bare bone basic mechanics, and you can make a very interesting game with just that and a little bit of creativity. So thank you very much. And well, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
I'll leave you with some fun art, I guess.